Chapter 1. The richest man in the world? I'm wrong. It won't be long before the Holy Grail War. I wonder if I can summon a heroic spirit. It's better to summon a big hero Arash, and then let him die 800 miles away when everyone is together. Dad, if it goes well, I might be able to come and pick up a Holy Grail. If it doesn't go well, run away immediately. It's a surefire business. I'm a little excited to think about it. Standing at the door of Tosaka's house, Lin Yi looked at the Tosaka family in front of him and muttered to himself. He, originally an ordinary melon eater on Blue Star, came to this world by accident. Originally, when Lin Yi thought that he would soon be able to punch the Conqueror and kick the Hero King to carry the Night King to the peak of his life, he realized that he was an ordinary melon eater. When there was no magic circuit, no heroic spirit command spell, and even the money in his pocket was only enough for a few days, he was completely desperate. Forget it. Anyway, this type of moon world is not dangerous except for the frequent gas explosions. I will buy a plane ticket to go back to Daxia in a while. Now it is the 90s. I choose to change my life by speculating in real estate, changing my life by speculating in stocks, and changing my life by buying lottery tickets. Hug the big guy's thigh to change your life, speculate on coins to change your life, or go to the university to change your life. At this moment, when Lin Yi had already started to think about the path he wanted to take to become the richest man in the world, a clear voice rang in his mind. Ding! Congratulations to the master for successfully activating the question and answer system of all heavens and worlds. Hearing this voice, Lin Yi's whole body became energized. The question and answer system of the heavens and the world sounds unusual. What were you thinking about just now? World's richest man. Can the richest man in the world be better than the first man in the heavens? Even if you can't become the #1 person in the heavens, it's not easy to get some special abilities and live a happy 10,000 years. Thinking of this, Lin Yi silently opened his own system. He wanted to see what his own system was capable of. And at this moment, in the entire Fate/Zero world, in the eyes of a few very special people, the world has changed their appearance. In the ears of these people, a voice rang. The question and answer system of the heavens and the world is officially launched. It's all the fault of the hour. Join the group chat. Weberville Wit joined the group chat. The Righteous Partner joined the group chat. Art Seekers joined the group chat. The King of Knights has joined the group chat. The King of Conquest has joined the group chat. Jean Shining has joined the group chat. All Heavens and Worlds question answering system officially launched. The system will randomly conduct live broadcasts of the heavens and the world every day, including but not limited to the past, present, and future. The system will ask questions and ask the participants to answer the questions. Those who answer correctly can get rewards from the system, and those who answer incorrectly will get penalties from the system. Now, all participants are invited to prepare for the first live Q&A in 10 minutes. Fried. Gutian. No, the Xingyue world exploded. Up to now, all the people who joined the group chat have not realized what happened. After a long time, a proud voice sounded first. Who dares to disturb this king's sleep? Come out. This king will let you know the price of playing a prank on this king. Weber Werther, who developed the magic again. Hurry up and stop me. I still have to go to class. I'm going to be late soon. Princess, I'm fine. After all, I don't know why. Our teacher was late. But this magic is so good, I can't see any flaws. It's all Tokiomi's fault. What's going on? Is it magic? Is it magic? Why did my consciousness come here? King of Conqueror, what is this noble phantasm? Haha. It looks very interesting. It's so boring in Valhalla. Can someone finally talk to me now? In addition to these excited people, at this moment, in a snowy field, a man with the vicissitudes of life was smoking a cigarette silently. He looked at the world in his mind and said nothing. Think, what kind of magic is this at this time? Is it for the Holy Grail? Forget it. Let's observe and observe first. Thinking of this, Amiya Kiritsugu also silently fell silent, and then pretended that he didn't exist at all. And Amiya Kiritsugu, who wanted to hide, didn't even know that he, who wanted to observe others, was being observed by a man at the moment, and this man was Lin Yi. This is my system. It looks pretty good. Let me see what abilities your system has. Chapter 2. Whose fault is it all? Lin Yi looked at his system. He already knew the function of his system. To put it simply, it is to let people who join the system space answer the questions. There will be rewards for correct answers and penalties for wrong answers. As the owner of the system, Lin Yi will get rewards every time he finishes answering a question. System, let's start. Let me see how this system works. The moment Lin Xian's voice fell, inside the system space, the system's voice rang out. The first question and answer officially begins. Please listen to the question. Listening to the sound of the system, everyone who was communicating in the system space stopped making noises. They still don't understand what happened, so they naturally want to quickly understand what is going on in this live Q&A. And then, in their minds, a picture began to appear. In a dark cave, the two figures were hugging each other, seemingly hugging, but as the camera pulled in, everyone could see what the two were doing. These were two extremely beautiful girls. One was wearing a red dress with a school skirt and her signature double ponytail. Looking at her face, Tosaka Tokiomi was stunned. Although his face has changed, he can recognize that this is his daughter, Tosaka Rin. The other is different. The same exquisite and beautiful face has an ominous aura on her body, and there is a curse mark on her face, which adds a bit of coquettishness and darkness to her. Tokiomi Tosaka also knows this person. This is his youngest daughter, Tosaka Sakura. Tosaka Tokiomi, what's going on? Why did Rin and Sakura look like this? Also, why did Sakura become like this? Before Tosaka Tokiomi didn't understand what happened, Tosaka Rin in the picture suddenly spoke up. I'm so stupid. The picture came to Tosaka Rin's abdomen, where blood continued to flow down, but the knife in Tosaka Rin's hand did not stab little Sakura, but Tosaka Rin didn't respond. She still hugged the little Sakura in front of her and said silently, "But I just can't stand people who work hard and get no reward, and I like you so much. I really hope your face to be able to keep smiling." Listening to Rin Tosaka's words, little Sakura in her arms widened her eyes in disbelief. She wanted to keep her, but couldn't do anything. Tosaka Rin left her arms, and Tosaka Rin, who had lost too much blood, fell to the ground at once. "Sorry, I am a willful sister, and you have been carrying this ribbon. I am very sorry." Happy. After Tosaka Rin finished speaking, she finally lost all her strength, and then the whole person rolled down the slope continuously, blood flowing from her abdomen. The picture ends here. After seeing this, Lin Yi already knows which content is being played in the first question. Fate/Stay Night HF line. This is the final decisive battle between Tosaka Rin and little Sakura. As a sister, Tosaka Rin obviously has all the advantages and can kill little Sakura, but she finally chose to give up. She chose to sacrifice herself. Seeing this, Lin Yi said helplessly in his heart, "Forget it, let's eat fried mushrooms tonight." And the system also raised the question at this time. End of video. Question: whose fault is this happening? Looking at this problem, at this moment, all the people have not yet reacted from the situation that happened just now. If they hadn't seen the problem with the system, they still wouldn't know what happened. However, there are still people who are quick to respond. Matu Korea Little Rin. Little Sakura. That's Little Rin and Little Sakura. Tokiomi Tosaka. What the hell did you do? Matu Korea is going crazy. What did she see? The two little angels who are the most important to him in his life. At this moment, they are killing each other. Tosaka Tokiomi. Mato Korea. Although I don't know why you are not a magician, but I want to tell you, I don't know what happened. Tosaka Tokiomi is also stunned. His two daughters. Why kill each other? King of Conqueror, don't worry about this. Look at that problem. Whose fault is this all happening? I'm also very curious now. Kenneth, at Mato Korea, are these two your daughters? Why are you so excited? Tosaka Tokiomi, it's my daughter, mine. Kenneth, you're not optimistic about your daughter. It's even fighting. If it weren't for them, how would we have met such a thing? Lowly Tosaka Rin. I express my panic here. What happened to me and little Sakura? Why are we fighting? Lowly Tosaka Rin's words brought everyone's meaning back to the present. That's right, we still have to answer questions. The most urgent task now is to know whose fault it is. Many people already have the answer in their hearts, but because they don't know what the punishment is, no one wants to be this early bird. For a while, everyone was silent, and for a long time, Si Kandal finally couldn't stand it anymore. A group of cowardly guys. Isn't it just answering a question? Can it kill you? This king is going to be the first warrior to break into the city gate today. I'll come first. Si Kandal deserves to be the king of conquest. He is really brave. You don't even know the cause and the process of this matter, so you have to answer the question? What a lunatic. However, everyone was very happy to see someone come forward. And then, Si Kandal. Looking at the faces of these two girls, it was obvious that the little Sakura took the wrong path. So this time, my choice was all the fault of that little Sakura. Chapter 3. The King of Conqueror Dances Ballet. Si Kandal directly answered the first question, and after Si Kandal's answer ended, all the audience in the live broadcast room turned their attention to the system space. Ding, the King of Conqueror has answered. It's all the fault of little Sakura. The King of Conqueror answered the wrong answer, got a penalty, and the points are reset to 0. Detected that the King of Conqueror's points were 0, The penalty was changed, and the four little swans danced the ballet. The countdown is 3 minutes. Ballet for little swans. King of Conqueror what? How is that possible? I am the King of Conqueror. You let me dance ballet. It's still the same dance. Impossible. Si Kandal, absolutely cannot dance. Inside the Hall of Valor, Si Kandal turned his face away as he watched the countdown in the system space. Make him dance. Absolutely impossible. It has been detected that the King of Conqueror does not obey the system arrangement and has been changed to enforce it. Mandatory. The King of Conquerors is quite disdainful. Where's this place? Hall of Valor. Do you want to enforce it? Who do you think you are? Is it Alea? However, brush. Suddenly, in front of Si Kandal, a small tutu fell out of the void and just fell into Si Kandal's hand. Si Kandal Omega? Where did it come from? What the hell is this? Si Kandal hadn't reacted yet. The next second he felt his body move on his own, then slowly took off his clothes, and then put on his tutu, followed by an inexplicable BGM rang then. Si Kandal couldn't help but dance. While jumping and humming, dang 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 kicked dang dang dang, dang 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 kicked, dang dang kicking, and dang dang. A minute later, Si Kandal sat on the ground blankly, with only 3 questions in his mind now. Who I am? Where am I? What am I doing? What's the situation? What's going on? I just jumped up. Si Kandal, who had reacted, quickly opened the live broadcast space, and the moment he opened it, he was stunned. I saw that in the live broadcast room, a small video was continuously played in a loop. On the screen, I was dancing ecstatically, and that expression was actually enjoying. Jean twinkle, what is this? The eyes of this king. Eyes. To insult this king like this. Weber, is this the legendary 4 little swans? Which are the swans? It's obviously a roast duck. It's the one with oil. Loli Tosaka Rin correct you. This color is not moist enough. At most it is a salted duck. Director Ken, I don't know why, but I feel a chill behind me in the summer. Is this really the legendary King of Conquerors? Director Ken, who was standing in the corridor of the clock tower, remembered the sacred relic of the King of Conquerors that he had sent by mail 2 days ago. I really want to summon this pervert. No, absolutely not. This is so unreliable. Si Kandal, listen to my explanation. I definitely didn't do it voluntarily. I was forced. Weber, I don't believe it. Look at your expression. You are clearly enjoying it. Ryanosuk, I once thought I was the most outstanding artist who took revenge on society, but now I understand. You are the genius who took revenge on society. You are the most outstanding artist. Michelangelo will cry when he sees it. See, looking at everyone's complaints, the current Si Kandal almost cried out of grievance. What can he do? He is completely speechless now. Forget it. Why don't you justify yourself? If there is a first, there will be a second. I will see what you will do if you answer wrong in a while. Thinking of this, Si Kandal continued to read. The King of Conqueror answered incorrectly. Please continue to answer. The cold voice of the system rang at the right moment, and at this moment, this voice became the whisper of the devil in everyone's ears. Half of the people present were heroic spirits, and they were all people who had experienced death. They are not afraid of death, but you can't humiliate them like that. Sometimes, social death is even more terrifying than Ling Chi. Everyone was silent, and none of them dared to answer. There was only one person, and his heart became active. This person was Tokiomi Tosaka. If it is said that little Sakura and Rin will kill each other one day, then it can only be because of something regrettable that happened before. Combined with what little Sakura said before, it is not difficult to see that she must have been treated unequally in the Matu family. Let's do it. Tokiomi Tosaka thought about it. His idea was right, and now he is the only one who knows the inside story best in this live broadcast room. So he is the only one who has the opportunity to answer this question correctly. And I have to say, his way of thinking, to a certain extent, is not a problem. I answer. It's all Matu Zuien's fault. Chapter 4. Throw Tokiomi Tosaka into the insect cave. Matu Korea. It's all Matu Zoe's fault? That's right. It's that guy? You don't even know. That guy is a pervert. Irisville, why is this? Can you explain? Tosaka Tokiomi. Is it an android from the Einsburn family? Forget it. It's not a secret. I'll just say it briefly. You must know the goal of our 3 families. Irisville, to reach the root, for the mysteries of magic. Tosaka Tokiomi, that's right. So, in order to give little Sakura a chance to reach the root, I let the Matu family, who has no heir, adopt little Sakura as the heir. Counting the time, Matu Zuien should come to pick it up soon. Weber, what the hell? For the magician's inheritance. You send your daughter to a place where you don't know the details? You are so irresponsible. Director Ken, You are classmate Weber. I can understand Tokiomi Tosaka's choice. In order to reach the root, for the glory of the magician, sometimes you must pay. If that little Sakura really arrives after a few years, root, then she will definitely thank Tosaka Tokiomi. Matu Korea nonsense. You are all babbling nonsense. What is the glory of a magician? Is it so important to reach the root? For little Sakura, what she really wants is a simple life. And the Tong family. It's not home. It's hell. Tosaka Tokiomi. At least we have seen that the little Sakura in the future is very strong, which shows that my choice is right. If you want to be a happy person, you must first learn to endure hardship. Matu Korea, Tokiomi Tosaka. You are trash. Trash. A **** hole. Matu Korea finally couldn't help scolding, and when he scolded, the system's voice kept ringing in Lin Ye's mind, who was peeking at the screen. It was detected that Matu Korea was speaking swear words, for the sake of harmony in the live broadcast room. Will the host be banned from speaking? Banned? Forbidden? What is forbidden? It's boring to be banned. How funny it is to scold Tomisaka Tokiomi. Come on, let me watch it for a while. Lin Ye was not going to be silenced at all. To be precise, if the timing wasn't right, Lin Ye himself would have wanted to end the game and scold Tokiomi Tosaka. Matu Korea, well done. And maybe it was because he felt that it was too shameful to be scolded like this. Tokiomi Tosaka finally couldn't bear it anymore. Enough. Matu Korea, how could you, an abandoned son of a magician's family, understand the greatness of our magician? Matu Korea, I'm XXXX. Well, this Tong Yinya may have recently traveled to Zuan. Tosaka Tokiomi believes that everything is the fault of the old bug. If it wasn't for the old bug's abuse of little Sakura, everything would not have been like this. As for himself, a father who was only thinking about his daughter's future, he never thought about his choice at all. Then, ding dong, Tokiomi Tosaka's answer was detected. Everything is Matu's fault. The answer is under review. Looking at the system in front of him, Tokiomi Tosaka became nervous. He saw what happened to Si Kandal. He didn't want to be so embarrassed. No matter what, he was a gentleman. He was a man who had to uphold elegance. Ding dong, Tomisaka Tokiomi's answer is wrong, and Tokiomi Tosaka will be punished. Random punishment begins. Punishment, Tosaka Tokiomi was thrown into the worm cave for 3 hours. What? At this moment, Tokiomi Tosaka still didn't know what happened. He was stunned when he saw the punishment in front of him. If Si Kandal is just dead, isn't that killing people? No, I'm not going. Tokiomi Tosaka subconsciously wanted to struggle. However, he suddenly felt a mysterious force enveloped him, and after a while, he fell directly into an unfamiliar place. It was a very dark place, but not without light. In the pits, the little stars are exuding their own light, and there is even a terrifying romance in them. However, Tokiomi Tosaka saw the true colors of these little stars in the next second. They moved suddenly and crawled out of the pothole. Maybe it was at the restaurant, or maybe Tokiomi Tosaka was treated as food. In an instant, all these bugs rushed towards Tokiomi Tosaka. In that second, the world in front of him turned into a wave of bugs. No, Tosaka Tokiomi picked up the cane in his hand and was about to release his gem magic. Tosaka Tokiomi's magic level was not low. Although this insect wave seemed to be very powerful, it only needs a fire. My magic power. Why does it fail? At this moment, Tosaka Tokiomi suddenly found out. The magic power that I am proud of can't be mobilized a little. He stared at the rush of insects with wide eyes, and his eyes were full of despair. So is this really hell? Chapter 5. Is Tokiomi's fault? What? Tosaka Tokiomi kept shouting. He was suffering, and what made him even more desperate was that every time a bug bit it, an inexplicable force would directly restore his body. You can't die. You can only endure this hell-like pain. Why? Why is this? Why do I have to suffer all this? Tosaka Tokiomi shouted, but unfortunately, no one would answer his question. System live room Gudong, everyone subconsciously swallowed a mouthful of saliva. What kind of scene is this? Despair, real despair. Matu Korea, haha, deserved it. Matu Korea looked very refreshing. He was suppressed by Tosaka Tokiomi for so long. He was as desperate as a mountain. It was the first time Matu Korea met such a refreshing thing. Lowly Tosaka Rin dad. Unlike Matu Korea, Kodasaka Rin was all nervous. That's her father. How could she accept seeing her father suffer? No, I want to save my father. Lowly Tosaka Rin made a direct decision, so she also said in the system space, I want to answer the question too. No. Matu Korea interrupted Lowly Rin directly. He saw what happened to Tosaka Tokiomi. If he just asked Lowly Rin to choose a ballet or something, it might be a pleasing scene. However, if Lori Rin also experiences the ending of Tokiomi Tosaka, no, absolutely not. Matu Korea, little Rin, listen to Uncle. Let Uncle answer the question this time. Xiao Rin, but Loli Rin can't tell. Although she is only 7 years old, she already understands a lot of things. Xiao Rin, Uncle, then what are you going to answer? Loli Rin wanted to confirm Matu Korea's answer before deciding. Matu Korea, me? It's all my fault if I want to answer. Matu Korea said sadly. If I work harder, if I can become a good magician, if I go back earlier to stop Tosaka Tokiomi. Matu Korea's words made Loli Rin keep shaking her head. How is that possible? It's not Uncle's fault. Even if it is, it's my fault. I said in the live broadcast just now that I've been regretting it. So, all this must be because of me. If it was me who went to Matu's house, maybe nothing would have happened. Matu Korea, no, everything is my fault. Loli Rin, no, it's all my fault. Matu Korea, my fault. Loli Rin, Linyi, okay, this is the first time I've seen someone take the blame. Linyi couldn't take it any longer. What's the situation? Is this question so difficult? Tokiomi Tosaka, the #1 pot king in all worlds, was actually rushing to take the blame? This is really a long time to see. Linyi overlooked a point. He knew everything, and he was in the perspective of God. So of course what he saw was completely different from what other people knew. In Loli Rin's eyes, she only saw her regret hugging little Sakura in the clip. In Matu Korea's heart, he was actually very inferior, so he subconsciously thought that his incompetence caused everything to happen. Loli Rin, then who are you talking about? Is there anyone else besides us? Linyi, who am I talking about? Linyi thought about it. He didn't want to expose his relationship with the system. After all, he had to keep his hands on everything when he was away from home. Linyi, you have to analyze this. First, we have to examine the question. The question is, whose fault is all this? So we need to understand one thing. The meaning of this question is, if this person doesn't do this, if one thing happens, none of this will happen, right? Everyone nodded silently. Yes, it sounds reasonable, so the analysis should be correct. Seeing that no one refuted, Linyi also continued to say, so let's continue to see who is the root of all this. First exclude Rin, a little lowly, what can she change at that time? Then there is Matu Korea, this matter. I have something to do with you. You are a passerby after all. Linyi is also speechless. The little Sakura is the daughter of Tosaka Aoi and Tosaka Tokiomi, and it has nothing to do with you. I know what you think, but you can't take the blame because of this. Bar. Matu Korea Matu Korea couldn't say anything. And now, Linyi also continued to say, then exclude the little Sakura who had answered before and the old bug. And finally, there is only one person left, Tomisaka Tokiomi. Having said this, everyone in the space lit up. That's right, the analysis makes sense. How did we forget that Tosaka Tokiomi? By the way, it may be that he is too miserable now, so he subconsciously ignores him. Linyi, if it wasn't for Tokiomi Tosaka, who gave little Sakura to the Matu family, little Sakura would not have experienced all this. If it wasn't Tokiomi Tosaka, Rin wouldn't blame herself. Daughter, Matu Korea probably won't care about all this, so the answer is already obvious. All of these. It's all Tokiomi's fault. Chapter 6. Rewards. Heroic Spirit Summoning Card. System, my answer is that it's all Tokiomi's fault. Linyi answered this answer directly, and the moment he finished speaking, the live broadcast room became cold, and everyone was waiting for the final result. King of Conqueror, did you dare to answer after seeing the fate of this king and Tosaka Tokiomi? You are truly a warrior. King of Knights, you take such a risk without knowing the answer and reward. You have the qualities of a knight in you. Giles, hey, what's next for him? I can't wait to see it. Loli Rin, Schadenfreude guy? Come on, big brother. You must answer correctly. Looking at these people's answers, Linyi is naturally very confident at the moment. And at this time, the answer finally came out. Linya's answer is all Tokiomi's fault. The answer is under review. Ding dong. Congratulations to Linyi for successfully answering the question. Everything is Tokiomi's fault. Linyi answers the question correctly and gets a reward, a heroic spirit summoning card, temporary summoning. And at the moment the system announced, in his mind, the system's voice also rang. Congratulations to the master for successfully completing the first live Q&A. This time, a heroic spirit summoning card will be awarded. The system owner will be rewarded with a reward for critical strikes. The host will be rewarded with a heroic spirit summoning card, permanent. Listening to the voice of the system, Linyi finally realized that he was rewarded for answering questions in the system, and more importantly, as long as someone could answer the question correctly in the live broadcast room, he could get a better reward. What is the principle of this? Master, as the master of the system, you will naturally receive higher rewards than the contestants. Otherwise, how can you manage them well? It makes sense. Lin Yi looked at his hands. In his hands, 2 cards were lying quietly in his hands. One of these 2 cards is a golden card, which looks like an SSR card, and the other is an ordinary paper card. Obviously, the golden one is a permanent heroic spirit summoning card, and this paper card is a one-time use. Not bad. Stay here first, and find a place where no one will use it at night. Unfortunately, I don't have any holy relics, and I don't know who can be summoned. Lin Yi also began to think. In Xingyue World, or Fuyuki City, who doesn't know that this place is the most tied? There is no heroic spirit in his hand, and he is not in existence like the true ancestor of a magician, and there is no trump card in his hand. And now, I can finally feel at ease. And just as Lin Yi was thinking, in the system's live broadcast room, after the first live broadcast ended, the whole live broadcast room also became lively. The King of Conqueror actually got it right. This man looks very lucky. Weber, what luck? People are obviously smart enough to rely on their own ingenuity to get the answer right. Giles, it's a pity. I can't see what kind of punishment he will accept. I hope next time I have a chance. The King of Knights. Compared to this, I am more concerned about the rewards he gets. The heroic spirit summoning card is obviously not a heroic spirit summoned by the Holy Grail mechanism. If it is used in the Holy Grail War, if it is used at a critical moment, I am afraid it can instantly change the battle situation. My king deserves to be the king, and this strategic vision is really different. Amiya Karitsugu. Yes, if you use it at a critical moment, it can turn into a 2-on-1 situation, and it is almost a sure win. Koto Mine Kirai. That's right. As long as the timing is right, everything can be changed. A heroic spirit can do so much. People in this group are more or less related to the Holy Grail War. Who doesn't want such a reward? The first live Q&A is over, and the next live Q&A will be notified separately. At the same time, new members will be invited to join each live broadcast, so stay tuned. After the system's icy voice ended, the live broadcast space fell into a state of tranquility for the time being. People also need to rest and rest. No matter what, they have to wait until Tokiomi Tosaka finishes his punishment from the wormhole. Thinking of this, Lin Yi was about to pack up and go home to rest. But just as Lin Yi turned around, a black car suddenly stopped at the door of Tosaka's house, and then a rickety old man trembled. Wei Wei stepped down from the car. This person looked like an old man with a candle in the wind, but Lin Yi recognized his identity. Old Bug. Matu Dirty Inkstone. Chapter 7. The arrival of Matu's Inkstone Matuzuyen, the executor of all tragedies. If Tosaka Tokiomi is the origin of all mistakes, then Matuzoken is the biggest catalyst for exacerbating these tragedies. To say it's disgusting is actually an insult to the word disgusting. Lin Yi looked at Matuzuyen in front of him. He did not choose to leave, but chose to wait and see. At this moment, Matuzuyen silently walked over and knocked on the door of Tosaka's house. Dong 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 as the door opened. Tosaka Aoi walked out with Tosaka Rin and Tosaka Sakura. Don't ask where Tosaka Tokiomi went. He is probably still suffering in the old bug's cave. Hee hee, the old bug laughed gloomily. Miss Tosaka? Where's Tokiomi? I'm here to take little Sakura as promised. The old bug looked at Tosaka Tokiomi in front of him, and he was obviously in a good mood. Tosaka Sakura, this little loli he has been paying attention to for a long time. This little loli has a physique of nothingness, and is definitely the best executor of his own plan. At this moment, looking at little Sakura in front of him, the old bug silently stretched out his hand to grab little Sakura's little hand. Seeing the old bug getting closer, little Sakura hid behind Loli Rin in fear. She didn't know what would happen next, but she knew that the old grandfather in front of her looked so scary. It's a pity that she is just a little loli. How could she avoid the old bug's grasp? And at this time, snapped. Suddenly, with a crisp sound, the old bug's hand was slapped directly, and it was none other than Lori Rin who wanted to protect her sister. Old bug, I absolutely won't allow you to take little Sakura away. Lolita looked at Matu Dirty Inkstone in front of her in a dignified manner. She had watched the live broadcast and knew what would happen if the old bug took away little Sakura. In the future, I will blame myself like that. How could I let the tragedy repeat itself? Little girl, it's up to you. This is something I negotiated with Tokiomi. The old bug's face became more and more gloomy. He even prepared his future plans, and now he is one step away from success. How could he let his plans go to waste? Little girl, get out of the way. The old bug wanted to use her voice to scare Loli Rin in front of her, but how could Loli Rin get out of the way? She grabbed little Sakura's little hand with her own little hand, and she was also very scared in her heart. No, he must not be allowed to take little Sakura away, but Dad is still in the wormhole. Who can help me? Mr. Matsu, Tokiomi is not at home. Can we wait for him to come back and then decide? On the other hand, Tosaka Alway couldn't help but say. Unfortunately, Matsuzuyen was obviously not going to listen to her, and he continued to reach out to grab Loli Sakura. Looking at this move, Loli Rin made a stunned move. No, run. At least until father comes back. Brush. The next second, Loli Rin directly took little Sakura's little hand and ran into the distance. She just wanted to run, but unfortunately, how could the two 6- or 7-year-old little girls run past Matsu's claws? Can you run? Where can you run? The old bug knocked on the ground with a cane in his hand, and the dark black bug swarm grabbed the two little Loli. Looking at the swarm that was getting closer and closer, the Loli gritted her teeth. And at this time, she was able to find who can help. Even if he was looking for someone, he wouldn't be able to save himself from the old bug if he wasn't a powerful magician or a heroic spirit. Wait a minute, it's not like he didn't. Didn't he meet a large group of masters just now? What if someone could come and save him? So, Loli Rin opened the live broadcast space. I'm escaping the old bug with little Sakura now. Excuse me, can anyone help us? King of Knights, have you been attacked by the old bugs? Unfortunately, I haven't been summoned. Otherwise, I will definitely help you. My king couldn't bear it. The kind-hearted she wanted to save the two sisters, but she didn't have the ability. Yushing Ryanosuk, hey kid, I like it the most. Weber, upstairs is the pervert. The identification is complete. However, I am also in the clock tower. Director Ken is still giving lectures there. We can't go. Irisville, I'm abroad. Koto Mine Kirii. Although I want to save Junior's sister, I obviously don't have time. Looking at these people's answers, Loli Rin's eyes lost the light of hope. Could it be that he really couldn't save his sister? Could it be that this tragic fate cannot be changed by oneself? Just when Loli Lin was about to despair, a voice rang in the live broadcast room. Lin Yi fighting old bugs. I'm very interested in such interesting things. Do you need help? Duh. Chapter 8. Loli Rin's help Loli Lin Yi. Are you willing to help me? Great. But the old bug is very strong. How can you help me? The more Loli Rin said, the more uncertain her heart became. As the heir to the Nakatosaka family of the 3 imperial families, Loli Rin knew the strength of this old bug too well. His father was already a powerful magician, but even he didn't dare to say that he could defeat this old bug. It is said that many weak heroic spirits are not the opponents of this old bug. Sasaki Kojiro, who is weak? Are you polite? Looking at Loli Rin's information, Lin Yi naturally had some considerations in his heart at this moment. I have 2 heroic spirit summoning cards in my hand now, so I can take this opportunity to summon a heroic spirit first to improve my strength. Lin Yi thought about it a lot. A heroic spirit summoning card is important, but it is not important. At least for Lin Yi, who is holding the system. This summoning card is very ordinary. Strength is more important. What Lin Yi was struggling with now was how to use his summoning card like this. I can use it myself, but the heroic spirits that I summoned without the holy relic must be the best fit for me. But who can fit me? Lin Yi thought about his usual performance. Lazy and greedy, cough, outstanding. Which famous heroic spirit doesn't seem to fit well with me? At least there are no heroic spirits that have appeared in Xinghua. Then if I summon a flag bearer in the army of a great emperor, 1 person under 10,000 people, so is it finished for you? Don't talk about winning the old bug. It would be too funny if you get into it yourself. As a traverser who has temporarily nothing, go one way is the right choice. Wait, I don't seem to have no holy relics. Lin Yi looked at Tosaka Rin in front of him. Isn't this a holy relic? Although it seems impolite to say that Rin Tosaka is a sacred relic, but who is more suitable than Rin Tosaka? In other words, I can summon Rin Tosaka? Lin Yi thought about it for a while. Lolita was different from herself, and she was treated like a goddaughter of the moon. The role that is related or compatible with Loli Rin may be Isi Ta Rin Ai Lei Sauce, and the worst is also an Amiya Shiro. No matter who they are, these are enough. The more Lin Yi thought about it, the brighter his eyes became. He already had a plan in his mind. At Lori Rin, I'm nearby. Wait for me. Don't move. Brush. As soon as Lin Yi's information came out, everyone in the live broadcast room was stunned. Kenneth, there is actually someone willing to help. That old bug is not easy to deal with. Yushing Ryanosuk, there are actually people in this world who will save people? Are there really people who are so idle? Don't let people go in without being rescued. Looking at the news in the live broadcast room, Loli Rin was stunned. She originally asked with the attitude of giving it a try. She herself never thought that anyone would be willing to help her. After all, although she didn't know who these people were, but I can guess that it must be related to the Holy Grail War. And the participants in the Holy Grail War must be hostile to each other. After all, there can only be one winner of the Holy Grail War. However, it is such a thing. This strange big brother is really willing to help himself? For a time, Loli Rin's little heart was filled with gratitude and reverence. Loli Rin, big brother. Thank you. Lin Yi noticed that Loli Rin's name for herself had changed. Lin Yi, it's nothing. The Holy Grail War has nothing to do with you children, and I also hate old bugs. As soon as Lin Ye's words came out, the whole live broadcast room was boiling. Giles, fool. I really don't know what you think about going to help the daughter of a future enemy. Yushing Ryano Suk. That's right. There's no point in killing people to save people. Watching children's blood flow out of their bodies, watching their eyes gradually change from hope to despair. This is the most beautiful art in the world. Giles, oh, young man, it seems that you are very conscious. Sure enough, in this live broadcast room, only you are the most different. For the pervert duo, they may never be able to understand Lin Ye's words. After all, Lin Ye's words just stomped their insistence under their feet, and then stomped hard twice, and spit out a mouthful of saliva by the way. Not saving people. This is hitting them in the face. It's just a pity that in this live broadcast room, there are only two of them pervert. Chapter 9. Tosaka Rin as a holy relic? Cursing people without exposing them, hitting people without slapping them in the face. Although Lin Ye's behavior did not mention them at all, for people like them who like to torture and kill children for fun, they felt that they were being scolded. Therefore, they naturally disliked Lin Yi very much. In the same way, they hate Lin Yi. So naturally there are some people who admire Lin Yi very much. D. Lamujuo, can't you think that there are such noble people in this era? If possible, I really want to fight with you. If you call me, I will definitely offer my loyalty to you. Fight with me. Forget it. I don't want to be green on my head like Director Ken. Dilamujuo are good people, but the tier mole is so annoying. King of Knights, integrity, kindness, and your admirable qualities, you can definitely become a qualified knight. If you call me, I believe we will be a good fit. Although my king had never seen Lin Yi before, but because of this incident, Lin Yi felt a lot better in her heart. It's better to work with someone of high moral character than to work with someone who stabs you in the back. King of Conquest, ha ha ha, interesting. Interesting guy? How about you, are you interested in joining my army? When I conquer the world, I will share the joy with you. The King of Conqueror Si Kandal also made an invitation, which obviously expressed his willingness to be summoned by Lin Yi. Just looking at the news from Si Kandal, Lin Yi rolled his eyes. Why does this guy want to pull into his camp when he sees something good? Do you think you are Whitebeard? Amiya Karitsugu didn't speak, but he watched Lin Ye's words in the live broadcast room and said, maybe, this is the real partner of justice. But now Lin Yi doesn't have time to answer them one by one. All his eyes are on Loli Rin. At this moment, the swarm is getting closer and closer to Loli Rin. Looking at the approaching swarm, Lin Yi he also stood up directly. At this time, the voice of the live broadcast room also rang. It has been detected that member Lin Ye's behavior meets the standards for live broadcast. Do you choose to live broadcast? If you choose to live broadcast, you can get a certain reward. Live standard? Is it live? And a reward? How could you possibly miss it? So, Lin Yi nodded directly and said, I choose to broadcast live. Brush. As Lin Ye's voice fell, in the live broadcast room, everyone suddenly saw a Loli Rin situation at this moment. Two very cute little Loli are standing together holding hands, and in front of them, the black swarm seems to engulf everything you Ryanosuk. Two lovely little girls. They must be very interesting. Giles, yo-ho-ho. Yes, but it's not a little boy. Otherwise it would be more interesting. Weber, disgusting. You two are really the same raccoon dog. Matu Korea, little Sakura. Rin, run. Don't fall into the hands of that old guy. At this critical moment, Lin Ye's figure appeared in front of the two little Loli, and he protected the two little Loli behind him. Only then did everyone see Lin Ye's face. This was a handsome and sunny young man. At this moment, the man directly held Tosaka Rin's small hand and said, System, use the heroic spirit summoning card, permanent. Good host. As the sound of the system fell, a golden card suddenly appeared in Lin Ye's hand, and the next second, this advent card suddenly emitted a burst of golden light. At the same time, beside Lin Yi, a red summoning circle also appeared at the feet of Tosaka Rin. Looking at this scene, everyone understands that this is the magic circle for summoning heroic spirits. The King of Knights, are you going to summon? I just don't know who will be summoned this time. Durumdo. I hope it's me. I will definitely use the spear in my hand to take the Holy Grail for my master. Yangtze River Knight. Who? Weber. Upstairs. Can you speak human words? Director Ken. That. I don't know if you feel it. Why do I feel that Tosaka Rin's position in the magic circle is a bit like the position of a holy relic? Irisfield, don't talk nonsense. How can someone be a holy relic? And she's still a little girl. King of Conqueror. That Kenneth. You really think, if a little girl can be used as a holy relic to summon heroic spirits, aren't we heroic spirits too cheap? Director Ken. That's right. If everyone can be a holy relic, then I can treat some disobedient students as holy relics, too at Weber. Webb humph. Webb said he didn't want to bother Director, and turned his head. Everyone took Lin Ye's actions as a coincidence. After all, after so many years, how could there be such a summoning heroic spirit? However, they don't know it all. If they didn't before, it doesn't mean they won't exist in the future. So, under the eyes of everyone, a heroic spirit descended like this. Some readers felt inappropriate in the last chapter, so I made a slight modification. If you have any opinions and ideas, or what you want to see, you can put them in the comment area. If it is suitable, I will satisfy everyone's ideas. As long as it is not unreasonable, I will be fine. Consider it. Chapter 10 Summons. Ereshkigal. End summons. Ereshkigal. In the heroic spirit summoning formation, streaks of golden rays of light appeared. Seeing the golden rays of light, Lin Yi instantly became excited. Wow, the golden legend. Sure enough, was it the right choice to summon Rin Tosaka? And this wasn't over yet. Lin Yi suddenly discovered that in this golden light, there was even a colorful light appearing. Color circle. It's still a lottery circle. SSR. A single draw SSR. This luck is too unreasonable. Lin Yi remembered his own experience of playing Go 300 Stone Fuming, and he almost didn't cry. Sure enough, is there still a difference between people? In the live broadcast room, everyone became nervous watching the live broadcast in front of them. They didn't even know where the tension came from. If King Attila was here at this moment, she should have told these people. Card drawing is bad civilization. This is the fun of drawing cards. The most exciting thing about drawing cards is not the SSR, but the waiting before the card is released. That kind of excitement is the real charm of card drawing, and the curiosity about the unknown is the most exciting things to look forward to. Just when these people guessed who would be summoned, a figure appeared in front of lowly Rin. The red and black clothes, golden double ponytail long hair, and the delicate crown on her head match her incomparably delicate face, giving a sacred and inviolable appearance. In her hand, a huge spear exuded a gloomy aura. The moment she appeared, the world seemed to have lost its brilliance. The moment the boundless sea of insects approached her, it suddenly turned into flying ashes. She was so sacred and inviolable. At this moment, she finally opened her eyes. She looked at the lovely Lin Yi beside her and said helplessly, "Servant, Lancer, mistress of the underworld, Ereshkigal came upon the summons. Although I am not very willing to lend strength to a man, but if you call me out, I will help you. Thank me well." By the way, this beautiful goddess blinked her beautiful big eyes at Lin Yi in front of him, and then said, "Don't forget, I am a real goddess." The moment he looked at this figure, Lin Yi almost cheered. Naturally, Lin Yi knew this figure, a god in Mesopotamian mythology, the flower of the underworld, the ruler of death and the undead. Also the sister of Sky Mistress Ishtar. She, Ereshki Caleb, can also be called El-Chan. Looking at the 3 command spells on the back of his hand, Lin Yi also showed a satisfied smile. This wave is not a loss. And with the appearance of A-Lay sauce, the whole live broadcast room boiled again. King of Conqueror, isn't it me? I'm all ready to come. It's a pity. Weber, what a pity. You're the only one who's weird. No matter how you look at it, you don't seem to fit in with other people's Lin Yi. But who is this heroic spirit? Does anyone know? How could it be? How could it be her? How could a god descend in a regular Holy Grail War? No, this is not the coming of a god's body. Is this a summons by virtue of it? Jean Twinkle recognized the identity of this goddess immediately. After all, she introduced herself as soon as she appeared on the stage. King of Conqueror Golden Sparkle, do you know this heroic spirit? Jean Shao. I have nothing to explain to the miscellaneous. She said it so clearly just now, can't you guess it? Jean Twinkle looked at the other people in the live broadcast room with contempt. Everyone said their names, and you didn't know them. Why did he explain to you? Weber, I know. Goddess of the underworld. Ereshkigal. Legend has it that she controls the growth and corruption of plants, and can enslave snakes and dragons. You can even freely control the underworld messenger Garila to exist. But, how do I feel that this goddess is so familiar? Matu Korea. It's not a familiar face at all. Isn't it Rin who grew up in the clip that was played earlier? Although the hair color is a bit wrong, I will never admit it. Weber, what? How is that possible? Why is the goddess exactly the same as a little human girl? And they don't even have different nationalities, right? Director Ken, at Weber, it's a shame to ask you to listen more in class if you don't listen. At everyone, I'm sorry, I'm a stupid student for everyone's shame. This situation was recorded in a book handed down by Kishua Zelich Thubianogu. This method of descending is called reliance summoning. When the strength of the heroic spirit is too strong for the Holy Grail vessel to withstand, or when some heroic spirits voluntarily lend their power to the summoner, a similar situation occurs. The servant who descends in this situation is also called a pseudo-servant, but this is the first time I have seen it. Weber, so this goddess isn't really a goddess? Si Kandal, yes, it's not. It's too complicated to explain. Maybe one day you'll understand when you see the mimic servant in person. Is that so? Weber nodded silently, his face turning red when he remembered that Director Ken had despised him just now. At this moment, Weber secretly swore in his heart, sooner or later, I will find out what is called by virtue and show you. I want you to understand. From now on, no one knows more about calling by virtue than me. Chapter 11. Points Mall opens with the appearance of Ali. The old bug in front of him was stunned. How is that possible? Who is this kid? Why did he suddenly summon a heroic spirit? The old bug doesn't understand. This Holy Grail War has taken so long to start. Why is this kid able to summon the heroic spirit in advance? The Holy Grail has not recovered yet. Something is wrong. This is not an advance call at all. The summoning of this heroic spirit is not a Holy Grail mechanism at all. The old bug finally reacted, and this reaction made him even more frightened. He didn't think he could afford an existence that could summon a heroic spirit without using the Holy Grail mechanism. The old bug was able to kill Sasaki Kojuro in the Fatef line because of the assistance of the Holy Grail Black Mud, because the heroic spirits summoned by the Holy Grail could not resist the pollution of the Black Mud at all. But the situation in front of him made the old bug begin to suspect, so he persuaded. Hey, this little kid, this is our family business. Can you please step aside? On behalf of the Matu family, I will express my most respectful thanks to you. Listening to the old bug's words, Lin Yi looked at him as if he was looking at trash. If you ask me to get out of the way, I'll get out of the way. Do I want to lose face? Lin Yi didn't even bother to talk nonsense with the old bug. AI Lei-chan, kill him. Al-chan, don't add sauce after other people's names. I'm a goddess, so calling me like that doesn't have the majesty of a goddess. Although it sounds pretty good. The last sentence is what she said in her heart. Well, although Tosaka Rin only kept 30%, but obviously, the part of Aojiao has been kept. After Ali finished speaking, she turned her gaze to the old bug in front of her, and then she directly stretched out one of her fingers and said, Kill him? I don't know why, but I feel sick when I see you. Ali's body belongs to Tosaka Rin, and Tosaka Rin's treatment of Matu Zuiyin must be extremely disgusting. At this moment, on L's finger, a flying lantern glowing with blue light suddenly appeared directly. L swayed, gently roar. The next second, a huge black faucet rushed out from the ground. This faucet directly opened its bloody mouth and bit the old bug in front of it. Do not. The old bug roared. He still didn't understand. Didn't he just come to pick up a granddaughter? Why would you die after that? It's a pity that no one answered him at all. Who made him not join the live broadcast room? Roar. The dragon's mouth opened and closed, and the old bug in front of him was directly swallowed up, and the dragon head entered the ground in an instant and disappeared in an instant. If it hadn't been known that there was an old bug there, no one might have known that this place used to be. There was a battle. In the live room, Weber, it's amazing. Is this a heroic spirit? So handsome. Irisveal is really handsome. Such strength is indeed the strength of the heroic spirit of God. Irisveal still knew a little of the strength of the old bug, and she was killed without resistance, which had to be surprising. Yushing Ryanosuk, at Matu Korea. Your father is gone. How about Matu Korea? What do you think now? Matu Korea? I don't think so. That kind of guy would be better off dead. It's a pity. He won't die so easily. Matu Korea knows the old bug too well. That guy, as long as there is only one bug left, he can keep multiplying and resurrecting. How many engraved bugs are in the Matu family's bug cave? He hadn't counted it, but it was definitely enough for the old bug to be resurrected 10 times or 8 times. Kodo mind Kirii, but it's fortunate. This time, my sister is fine. I believe that when the teacher comes back, he probably won't send little Sakura out. Koto mind Kirii thought of Tosaka Tokiomi's miserable appearance. For some reason, he always wanted to laugh. He was happy when he saw his teacher was unlucky. What was the reason? And just when these people were discussing this, the system in the live broadcast room suddenly rang. Member Lin Ye's first live broadcast is over, and he will be rewarded with 1,000 points. Ding dong. Because this is the first live broadcast, a lucky treasure box will be awarded. When it is detected that a member has earned points, the points mall is officially opened. All members can use points in exchange for rewards. Points can be obtained by answering questions, transferring gifts, signing in, holiday packages, etc. A series of system sounds fell, and listening to these sounds, all the members were stunned. What just happened? There are so many rewards in just one live broadcast. 1,000 points, lucky treasure chest. Why wasn't I the first live broadcaster? For a time, the entire live broadcast room was filled with a special smell. This smell is called acid. Chapter 12. All-inclusive points mall. Thank you, big brother. Loli Rin took little Sakura's little hand and came to Lin Yi to express her gratitude. Behind Loli Rin, little Sakura looked at Lin Yi with gratitude. Although little Sakura is only 6 years old, she can tell the difference between good and bad. And she also knows that because this big brother is here, she finally doesn't have to go to the old bug. At this moment, this little Loli looked at Lin Yi in front of her with gratitude. It's nothing, it's just a little effort. Lin Yi smiled. He was in a very good mood now. It was indeed feasible to use Tosaka Rin as a holy relic, and it was Ali-chan who was summoned, which made it even more profitable. However, Lin Yi was also glad that this time he was not summoning Red A. Although Red A was actually quite good, the gap was a bit big compared to Ali-chan. If nothing else, the difference in appearance is not small. And seeing Lin Yi say this, Xiao Rin's affection for Lin Yi is even higher. However, Rin's arrogant personality really doesn't know how to express it, so she can only put this gratitude into her heart silently, wait for the opportunity to repay later. And now, Rin has also set his eyes on Ili-chan who is on the side. Others can recognize who El-chan's body belongs to. How could she not recognize it? Is this what I will look like when I grow up? This is what you looked like when you grew up. Ali looked at Loli Rin in front of her. At this moment, she finally knew why she was summoned. Yeah. Loli Lin nodded desperately, and she was full of good feelings at the first sight of Ali. Thank you also for saving us. My sister is indeed a goddess. She is really beautiful. Oh. Listening to Loli Rin's praise, AI Lei-chan's pretty face flushed. How can this cute little girl say that? Although she knows she is beautiful, but there are still so many people here. Woolen cloth. Alas, girls, even goddesses like to be praised. Looking at Lei-chan's slightly shy look, Lin Yi felt that something was wrong. And many more? Compliment you for being beautiful? Are you not the body of Rin Tosaka now? Isn't complimenting you beautiful the same as complimenting yourself? Of course, Lin Yi would never say these words, and it would seem that his emotional intelligence was too low. At this moment, Lin Yi began to silently look at the new things he had acquired. The first is 1,000 points. Can you open the points mall? Seeing this, Lin Yi's eyes lit up. Although he had a big bodyguard like Valet, the strength of others was not as reliable as his own. Now that I can buy things, I must strengthen myself first. Thinking of this, Lin Yi directly opened the points mall. Then, as soon as he saw it, he saw a variety of dazzling products. Looking at these things, not only Lin Yi, but also the other people in the group also had glowing eyes. Jin Shuang, what? How can there be this king's lock of heaven in this points mall? It's impossible. This is something that no one else has except me and him. D. Lamujuo, that pile of 0 heavenly locks is yours. You are okay. Look at my noble phantasm. The B+ level noble phantasm is only 200,000 points. Alas, I'm so poor. King of Knights, Avalon. How can there be an Avalon? No, there is still my Caliban. And only 500,000 points. How is it possible? It is impossible for my king not to be surprised. That is her sword in the stone. It is also a sword that she has lost forever. The sword is obviously broken. Why does it still exist? 100-faced Hassan, it's not surprising that I have my delusional hallucinations, but I want to know, whose noble phantasm is that multiple shadow clone? It looks very interesting. Weber, magic circuit. There is even a magic circuit. A high-quality magic circuit only costs 10 points. I only have more than 30 in total. In the moon-shaped world, magician's magic power is generated and stored in the magic circuit. As a third-generation magician, Weber's quality and quantity are relatively low, so this is also the reason why he has been ridiculed for being unorthodox. Aozaki Orange has only 20 magic circuits, but every one of them is top level, so her magic power is already B+. Amiya Shiro only has 27 circuits, so Red A has become a heroic spirit. Only reached B. Weber's magic level is only D in the heroic spirit, so it is difficult to release the king's army after the arrival of the great emperor. Director Ken. As expected of a new magic family that only passed on from the third generation, a top magic family like ours has hundreds of magic circuits. Tosaka Tokiomi, at Director Ken. The number of magic circuits does not mean strength, but only the amount of magic power. Although my Tosaka family has only inherited more than 70 magic circuits so far, compared to the level of magic, I don't think we the Tosaka family will be weaker than your excellency. Director Ken. Is there only 70 pieces of the Tosaka family that have been passed down for 300 years? Huh. Seeing Director Ken so happy, Lin Yi couldn't help showing a smile in his eyes. What are you proud of? What about more than 100 high-quality magic circuits? Wasn't it still crippled by Amiya Kiritsugu, who only inherited 20% of his father's magic circuits, and even only 20 magic circuits left? Really, I know what expression you will see when you see it. Lin Yi thought of this and showed a happy smile. However, they reminded me that the heroic spirits have been summoned, and they can't provide the same magic power as Amiya Shiro. Come on, system, exchange all my points for magic circuits. Duh. Chapter 13. Get rewards. End sword. Master, are you going to exchange 100 high-quality circuits or 10 top-level magic circuits? Which one is more suitable? Lin Yi asked involuntarily. If you just look at the magic power, maybe 100 magic circuits can be a little more, but from a quality and long-term perspective, the top-level magic circuits have a higher rate of return. The system still gave Lin Yi a thoughtful analysis. Listening to the system's words, Lin Yi also had the answer in his heart. If you want a top-level magic circuit, you can't give up long-term considerations because of immediate interests. More than 20 oranges can get AB+, and 10 for me are enough for the time being. The system, congratulations to the master for successfully redeeming 10 EX-level magic circuits, and the master's magic power has risen to B level. The moment the system's sound fell, Lin Yi felt a strange energy spreading in his body. Lin Yi didn't know how strong the magic power in his body was, but at least what Lin Yi could confirm was that he was supporting an A-lay sauce by himself. It's more than enough, and you can even contract one or two more. As Lin Yi gained magic power, AI Lei, who was beside her, also felt that the magic power she had just used up was replenished in an instant, which made AI Lei look at Lin Yi full of satisfaction. For heroic spirits, having a reliable master is better than anything else. It feels really good to have magic power, but unfortunately, there is ammunition but no pistol. Lin Yi felt the magic power in his body, but he didn't know how to release such abundant magic power. It's a pity, but fortunately, there are various the magic of magic transformation. Even shadow clone technique can be released with magic power, and it is not too late to exchange it after the next answer. Besides, isn't this a gift box that hasn't come yet? Lin Yi looked at the gift box where Curry was lying quietly in his system warehouse. His years of experience in Africa made Lin Yi a little worried, but compared to the fun of opening the box, this worry was thrown to the back of his mind. Heaven is high. I'm willing to trade Tokiomi Tosaka's 10 years of life for an EA. Tokiomi Tosaka? After Lin Yi finished speaking, he directly opened the gift box he had just obtained. Congratulations to the master. You have obtained the Noble Phantasm and the ending Sword Enki. Please pay attention to checking. End Sword Enki Noble Phantasms of Civilization Level EX the Noble Phantasm of Gilgamesh, Old Shiny. Summon the Sword of Flood. From the beginning, the flood will expand by 1 day every day, and it will reach its peak on the 7th day, and finally form the raging wave of the tsunami Nabistim that destroyed the entire Babylon. Also, usually it can also be split into 2 swords, which can be used as bows and arrows in combination. Looking at the Noble Phantasm he obtained, Lin Yi almost couldn't help laughing. End Sword. One of the top ones in the entire Xinyue world. If there is a list of Noble Phantasms for the degree of damage to Fuyuki City, this Noble Phantasm is definitely number 1, not second. Because this Noble Phantasm is sparkling. The entire Fuyuki City was directly submerged. If it weren't for the old sword just being there, and triggering the condition of destroying the world, I'm afraid the entire Fuyuki City would have disappeared from the world. Lin Yi seemed to see that the emperor summoned the army of the king with a mighty force, and then Lin Yi summoned the great flood with 1 arrow. At this moment, in the live broadcast space, the system's voice rang again. Notice, the second live Q&A will start in 2 hours, and new people are invited to join the group this time. Heroic Spirits Ireshkigal, Kodomine Rise, Sora Nazilii Sophiali, Little Linus Elmalo Arkazordi, Little Oro Kamari, and Little Tosaka Sakura. Suddenly, everyone present glanced at each other. Obviously, these people have heard the voice. So, Lin Yi directly said to the 3 beauties around him, It seems that your chat is about to be interrupted. Ailey, we should go back. Yeah. Ailey also nodded. Although she had a lot of doubts now, she knew that this should not be the place to talk, so she nodded silently. At this time, the entire live broadcast room was boiling. Everyone can see the magic of this live broadcast room, and it is unceremonious to say that their future is in the hands of the master in this live broadcast room. Chapter 14. The second live Q&A begins. Sora. Is this the live room? Kenneth said. It's amazing. Little Oro and Mary, what is this place? Why is my consciousness here? Little Linus, huh? Are my brother and my future sister-in-law here? What the heck is this place? Kenneth, at Lenise at Sora, here's the thing. Seeing that his fiancée and sister also came in, Kenneth naturally explained it very diligently. Kenneth explained it very happily. After all, it was his own who came this time. This means that there are already 3 members of my family in this live broadcast room, so this can be regarded as a big family. On the other hand, little Ilya and little Sakura, who had just joined, were also being instructed by their parents. Soon, these people understood what the situation was now, because someone was carrying them. Although everyone was surprised, they quickly accepted it. All this except little Oro and Mary. How is that possible? You said that the 4th Holy Grail War will be held now. What a joke. I heard that the 5th Holy Grail War will be held soon. What? Little Oro and Mary's words caused 1,000 waves. Originally, everyone only regarded little Oro and Mary as people of this era, but a word from little Oro and Mary changed everything. Even Lin Yi couldn't help but be stunned for a moment. At Orojaya Mary, can I ask, how old are you this year? Little Oro plus Mary, 11. With a simple age, Lin Yi knew which world this little Oro and Mary belonged to. In the event book of the Monarch El Meloy II, the Oro and Mary of that world were 11 years old, and the director of Oro and Mary was 23 at the time of go. Of course, Lin Yi wouldn't say it, and little Oro and Mary also reacted. Little Oro and Mary are a genius. At this moment, no matter what these people ask, she will never answer. Now little Oro and Mary have understood the mechanism of the live broadcast space, which makes little Oro and Mary very pleasantly surprised. Looking at it this way, wouldn't the future self have a huge advantage as a master? It's just a pity that very few people knew about the Holy Grail War 10 years ago. I heard that even the monarch who experienced this Holy Grail War has a lot of things they don't understand. It doesn't matter. Even if no one in our family has participated, I still have a 10-year advantage, so I must grasp it. Thinking of this, little Oro and Mary came to Su Shu to enter Chao Ing without saying a word. Kenneth, I didn't expect this live broadcast space to be able to pull in people from other time and space. Coupled with this means of manipulating the soul, is it the embodiment of the second method and the third method? Tokiomi Tosaka, how is that possible? Besides the demon marshal and the holy maiden of winter, who else can control the second and third methods? Matu Korea, what if there is an emergency? Also, did you come out of the worm cave? Tosaka Tokiomi, come out. Can't you stay there for the night if you don't come out? Matu Korea, cut. You didn't die there. Your life is quite big. You said how good it is that you died. Then it's all over. Tosaka Tokiomi, comf. Don't think I don't know what you're thinking. Even if I die, Aoi won't be able to marry you, and Rin and Sakura won't recognize you as a father. Matu Korea, you. Good. Tokiomi Tosaka, let's wait and see. Now with this live broadcast room, your advantage will soon be overtaken by me. The mountains and rivers meet. Let's walk. Look. Tosaka Tokiomi, then let me see your performance. Tosaka Tokiomi and Matu Korea confronted each other, and at this moment, the voice of the live Q&A system rang. The second live Q&A begins. The countdown, 3, 2, 1. Play starts. The sound of the system just fell, and in the live broadcast space, a video appeared. However, this time the video was different from the first clip. Lin Yi recognized it. Isn't this the opening song of the first season of Fate/Zero? This can also be played. That's right. What's playing now is the title of the first season of Fate/Zero, Circling World. How many times do I have to stretch out my hand? In the picture, Irisveal and Iochiku appear next to each other. Irisveal is still the constant face of the Einsburn family, and Artoria, who is dressed in a men's suit, is radiant. Irisveal, wow, such a handsome and beautiful girl. King of Knights, thank you for your compliment. Although I feel that handsome and beautiful girls are not suitable to be said together. Empty tears can melt a black heart. In the screen, Amiya Kuritsugu appears with Kuyuyamai, followed by Kodo Minekirei. Irisveal, why do you put Kuritsugu and this woman together? It feels weird, as if they were husband and wife. Lin Yi, Ma'am, do you like the color of the grass? Duh. Chapter 15. There are still connecting questions? What color is the grass? Green. Anyone who's seen Fate/Zero doesn't know the relationship between Kuyuyamai and Emiya Kiritsugu. Everyone has always ridiculed Director Ken, saying that Director Ken's head is covered with green grasslands. But Durumdo has always treated Sora with courtesy, but Irisville is a bit. Love is a light, so wonderful, that guides us an unwanted future. Of course, Irisville obviously didn't react, because her eyes were on the live broadcast. If the budding emotion ever reverberated in your heart, the great emperor rubbed Weber's little head with his big hand, looking quite loving. The marshal brought Ryanosuk Yushing on the stage, and the Kenneth trio came on stage. Then he will always protect you. The Tosaka family appeared, and on the lonely roof, only flying insects accompanied Matu Korea. Then, at the climax, holding up the light removes the hesitation. What I want to give you is the future. In the night of weeping we hold each other and let out a lament. Everyone appeared on the stage. Artoria swung the golden sword to repel the Yangtze River Knights. Dilanu swung 2 spears. Jean Shining stood on the street lamp and left the world alone. All the heroic spirits appeared. The wonderful picture made everyone's eyes widened until the last sentence, "Bear the unclean miracle," sounded. Everyone flashed by, and the picture ended there. Then, the cold sound of the system rang out. The live broadcast is over. Ask questions. Connect the questions. Please connect all the characters who appear on the stage with the relationship between the master and the servant. The more correct the reward, the higher the reward. There are special rewards for all pairs, and penalties for all wrongs. The countdown starts for 3 minutes. Sora, so handsome. Is this the Holy Grail War? It looks like every one of them is very interesting. But, Kenneth, didn't you say you were ready to conquer the king's cloak? Why is there something wrong in the picture just now? Kenneth? Yes, I obviously spent a lot of money to prepare the cloak of the king of conquerors. Why did I summon the one with the gun? Wait, my holy relic. After reacting, Kenneth hurriedly ran out, and a minute later, he came back, at Weber. Weber, you thief. How dare you steal my holy relic? You're a disgrace to the magicians. Weba, was it discovered? No, I just borrowed. It was borrowed. I will give it back to you. Kenneth, return it? How to repay it? Will you return it to me after you have summoned it? Little Oro and Mary, oh? Is this El Meloy? How could he have such a bad relationship with King 2? Kenneth, wait. What terrifying speech did you just say? Explain it to me. Little Oro and Mary, explain what? Hurry up and answer the question. I didn't see people say there is a time limit. Just answer the question quickly. Little Oro and Marie looked at a piece of paper in her hand. This piece of paper was divided into 2 rows. One row was the heroic spirits of the king of conquerors, Artoria, and the other side was more, Matu Korea Tozaka Tokiomi. The people in Kotomine Kiriai's group are all here. Looking at this dense list, Oro and Mary's eyes are full of little stars. So many people. How can I know their relationship on the internet? 10 years ago. I'm only 1 year old. Where do I know where to go? And holding this piece of paper, everyone also discussed in the group Lin Yi. Are you connected? It's hard to say that this kind of question is difficult or not. It's really not difficult. How many times has Lin Yi watched Fate/Zero? It's no wonder, but for other people, it's too difficult. Si Kandal, it's okay. There are already a few obvious answers in the picture just now. I should be in the group with this little guy named Weber. Ha ha ha. Interesting little master. Weber humph. Why? Didn't the history books say that Alexander the Great was a 1.5-meter dwarf? Why did I summon a 2-meter-tall brother? 1.5m dwarf. Lin Yi looked at this and smiled. The one you mentioned should be Alexander. The young Alexander was indeed a handsome little boy, but when he grew up, God, what have you been through? Kenneth humph. I'll settle the account with you later, so? I summoned Durumdo. The Einsburn family android summoned that woman, right? Wait, woman? The heroic spirits in the group are still there are women. Duh. Chapter 16. This is not fair. Who is this woman? Everyone in the group began to guess the identity of Artoria, Tokiomi Tosaka. It's not difficult. We already know the identities of the King of Conqueror and Durumdo. The heroic spirit summoned by Ryanosuk Yu is obviously Giles, and only these 2 people have such a high degree of fit. Therefore, it is not difficult for us to guess the remaining heroic spirits. Tosaka Tokiomi smiled, and he naturally knew who he was summoning in his heart, so of course he had confidence. King of Conqueror plus Weber, Durumdo plus Kenneth, Ryanosuk Yu plus Gillis. Kirai is my disciple, and he will also follow my arrangement to summon assassin. So Kotomine Kirai plus 100 Majestic Hassan. As for me, according to the holy relic I prepared, I should be summoning the King of Heroes, so Tokiomi Tosaka plus Gilgamesh. This leaves only the last two choices. The woman in the picture is obviously not the Berserker's Yangtze River Knight, so. Having said this, Tosaka Tokiomi showed a very confident smile. This time, I'm definitely right. Berserker plus Matu Korea, Irisveal plus King of Knights. After all the connections were over, Tosaka Tokiomi smiled confidently. He looked at the Matu family behind him, and a smile appeared on his face. Here, I will never come again. This time, I will definitely get the highest reward and reach the root. After Tosaka Tokiomi finished speaking, he left here with his head held high, although his clothes were tattered by insects, which was a bit more miserable than a beggar. I have to say that Tosaka Tokiomi's idea is very reasonable, but unfortunately, he never imagined that the contestants sent by the Einsburn family this time were not Irisveal at all, but Amiya Kiritsugu, Einsburn Castle. At this moment, Amiya Kiritsugu couldn't help showing a smile when he saw the answer in his hand. This is the correct answer. Irisveal, Ilya, let's submit it together. Well, little Ilya nodded obediently and then directly submitted her answer. Although she didn't know what the correct answer was, she believed that Kiritsugu would never deceive her. The three are very confident, as if the number one is already in their pockets. Linyi, are you sure this answer is correct? Beside Linyi, Lei Jiang curiously looked at Linyi next to her. Her answer was all told by Linyi, so she was still a little clueless. On lawn, I can still harm you, Linyi said confidently, and at this time, the system's voice rang again in the live broadcast room. Time is up. Answers are being collected. Answers are being approved. Listening to the system's voice, everyone except Lin Yi looked at the system nervously. They were now like students waiting for the final exam results to be announced. My mind is basically up and down. And finally, the sound of the system rang again. The approval of the answer is over, and the results are announced. Ryanosuk Yushing, the connection is correct. 3 groups, reward 300 points. Kenneth, 3 sets? Ha ha ha. So you haven't guessed any of the 3 answers you've already stated? Sure enough, this Holy Grail War is not a game you should be involved in at all. Yushing Ryanosuk, what? There are only 3 groups. What about you magicians? How would I know? It's not fair. It's not fair. The system, Ryanosuk Yushing has the least correct answer. He will be punished, and 10,000 arrows will pierce his heart. Yushing Ryanosuk, no, not fair. You are not fair. After Yushing Longzasuk sent this message, he disappeared immediately. Everyone knew that he must have gone through Wanjian's heart. However, no one pitied him here. On the contrary, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. After all, the least had already come out. Even if they were not the most, they didn't need to be punished now. And the cold sound of the system continues. Kenneth, Layla, Oro and Marie, Matu Korea, connect the 4 groups correctly and get a reward for 100 points. Kenneth, the King of Conqueror, haha. Thanks to you being so confident just now. Did you get 4 correct answers? You're not as ignorant as this king. Ha ha. Kenneth, damn. There must be something wrong with this. How could I be wrong? Weber, it turns out that teachers can make mistakes too. Kenneth, XXX. System, Si Kandal connect 5 groups correctly. Get reward, 500 points. Si Kandal, not bad. 500 points. I look at the system all. A body only has 5,000 points. Work hard. Maybe I can be resurrected without participating in the Holy Grail War. Si Kandal is quite satisfied, and no one pays any attention to him now, because at this moment, these people are holding their breath subconsciously. Now there are only 2 answers left, that is to say, as long as the 6 groups of people who answered correctly are announced, the rest are the people who answered correctly in the 7 groups. 700 points is not too much, mainly the reward for the first. That is what these people look forward to the most. And now, the only people who haven't announced their results are the Amiya family, the Tosaka family, and Linya's family. Chapter 17. I may be lucky EX Tokiomi Tosaka. Finally, it's the tiebreaker at Irisveal. The Einsburn family is indeed one of the 3 royal families. It's much stronger than a clan's trash who only answered 4 groups correctly. Matu Korea. At Tokiomi Tomisaka. Are you polite? Irisveal, thanks for the compliment. But the final reward must be our Einsburn family. However, Brother Lin Yi actually survived to the end? This is really surprising. Tosaka Tokiomi. Indeed, it's surprising that someone who is obviously not a participant in the Holy Grail War can guess so many groups. Tokiomi Tosaka was really surprised. He originally thought that Lin Yi was also a participant in the Holy Grail War, but in the live Q&A just now, there was no Lin Yi at all, which explained the problem. Of course, Tokiomi Tosaka is a man of wealth, and he will not ask a question when he encounters it. After all, even people from 10 years later can be drawn in this live broadcast room. Who knows what kind of person this Lin Yi is? If you provoke others, it will not be beautiful. What's more, Tokiomi Tosaka really can't hate Lin Yi since they just saved your daughter. The time travel in the biography of the moon. In the Macross War, Tokiomi Tosaka learned that Matu Zakuyan abused little Sakura. He rushed into Matu's house by himself and took little Sakura out. Afterwards, the little Sakura was sent to the Edfelt family, which is Livia's family, and the little Sakura also lived a life of her own. So it's not that Tokiomi Tosaka doesn't like his daughter, it's just that he likes it in a different way. Then again, little Sakura was sent out again? Tosaka Tokiomi, how much do you want both of your daughters to be magicians? The little Sakura obviously just wants to be an ordinary girl quietly. Lin Yi, it's nothing. Maybe, I'm lucky to be an EX. Durumdo, I feel offended. System, the list of members of the 6 groups with correct answers will be announced next. The sound of the system sounded, and in an instant, everyone turned their attention to this place. Congratulations to Tosaka Rin, Tosaka Sakura, and Tosaka Tokiomi for answering 6 groups correctly. They will be rewarded with 600 points. Alice Phil hooray! Tosaka Tokiomi didn't shout out, but Iris Phil screamed happily. The Tosaka family only answered 6 groups correctly, so why don't people who answered 7 groups correctly say anything? Tosaka Tokiomi damn. How could it be? How could I be wrong? This is not right. My analysis is obviously correct. Matu Korea. Hey, sure enough, it's all Tokiomi's fault. Tosaka Tokiomi, shut up for me. Tosaka Rina? We only got 6 groups right. It's a pity. Tosaka Sakura, it's okay sister, we have a lot of points. Little Ilya, yeah, sure enough. Kiritsugu is the best. At this moment, the Amiya family of 3 all showed proud expressions. Sure enough, the final winner is them. Now, they are like a general who came back from a victory, waiting for the king to reward them. The list of members of the 7 groups with correct answers will be announced next. I'm coming. Next is the moment to witness the glory. Congratulations to Amiya Kiritsugu, Ilya, Irisville, and Kodomine Kirai answered 7 groups correctly. Reward, 700 points. Ilya, yeah, we won. We won. Irisville, Ilya, be calm. Didn't I teach you how to be a qualified lady? Although Irisville said that, the joy on her face could not be hidden, but beside her, Amiya Kiritsugu kept his head down and remained silent. Kiritsugu, what's wrong with you? It's nothing. It's not surprising that we all answered correctly. But this Kodomine Kirai, this man is very dangerous. That's right. Kodomine Kirai even answered 7 groups correctly. How is this not surprising? Tokiomi Tosaka, at Kodomine Kirai, you've done a good job, as expected of my proud disciple. Kodomine Kirai, it's all well taught by the teacher. Amiya Kiritsugu, at Kodomine Kirai, you. Very good. But there are 3 of us who got all the answers right, so it's us who won in the end. Kodomine Kirai, really? Don't be too complacent. Didn't you realize that there seems to be something missing here? What's missing? Seeing Kodomine Kirai's words, Amiya Kiritsugu suddenly reacted. That's right. Isn't there something missing? It seems that there is a person's name, but it has never come out. And at this moment, the sound of the system sounded again. The list of members of the 8 groups with correct answers will be announced next. P.S. The previous 12 trials were replaced with the ending sword. If you have any comments on the chapters posted that day, you can say them in the comment area, and I will consider revising them if I feel they can. Chapter 18. Weber, you are a thief. Amiya Kiritsugu, answer the 8 groups right. How could this be? Could there be other heroic spirits coming? Tokiomi Tosaka. Haha, did you expect any unexpected gains? Tosaka Tokiomi is very happy. After all, as long as the Einsburns don't take the first place, he still has a chance. At this moment, the system finally said the answer. A member of the 8 groups who answered correctly is 0. Call. Seeing this, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Don't have 8 groups? This is scary, and this system doesn't finish talking all at once. The list of members of the 9 groups who answered the question will be announced next. Congratulations to Lin Yi and Dereshki Kale for answering 9 groups correctly. Reward, 1,000 points. Congratulations to Lin Yi and Dereshkigel for being the members with the most correct answers, and get an extra reward, a treasure chest. Ailey, really? I actually got the answer right. Lin Yi, you are amazing. Lin Yi, calm down. Don't get excited. It's just a small scene. Looking at the message Lin Yi sent, everyone was gnashing their teeth in hatred at this moment. Look, is this human? What is a small scene? This is also called a small scene? Tosaka Rin. But, father, Didn't you say that there are usually only 7 groups of participants in a Holy Grail War? But why is the answer 9? Tomisaka Tokiomi this. Rin, you have to know that although the Holy Grail War is normally a competition between the 7 horsemen and the Master, sometimes there will be some accidents. For example, in the Third Holy Grail War, during the Third Holy Grail War, Grandma summoned the 2 sides of the same heroic spirit, Saber and Saber Altar. So there were actually 8 heroic spirits involved in that Holy Grail War. It is not surprising that Tosaka Tokiomi, an orthodox magician, still knows some secrets. What he didn't know was that the Holy Grail was tainted and became what it is now because the great-grandmother killed Angola Manuel, who was illegally summoned by the Einsburn family at that time. Einsburn. Yes, but we may have overlooked one thing, and that is, the question is, please connect all the characters that appear on the stage with the relationship between Master and Servant. This means that there are only these 7 Servants, so the possibility of illegal summons must be ruled out, so there is only one answer left. Kenneth, that's right. Servant is transferred. When the original Master gives up the ownership of Servant due to special reasons such as escape, abandonment, death, etc., Servant can re-sign a contract with the Master. That is to say, this Holy Grail War happened twice. The event of the heroic spirit changing the Master. Amiya Karitsugu, that's right. It seems that we all ignored this. At this moment, the system also announced the answer, and then, one screen after another suddenly appeared in the live broadcast room. First screen inside the clock tower in London, a young student was arguing with a lecturer. Then, the angry student stole the lecturer's package and sat directly on the plane. In the box in his hand, the rags are lying there quietly. Kenneth, I'm a holy relic. That's a holy relic I prepared. At Weber, Mr. Wilwit, you will pay for what you do. The King of Knights. Yes, although what Kenneth did is indeed wrong. The act of stealing other people's express delivery and dismantling other people's packages is really not very bright. Conqueror, that's right. Weber, huh? Even you think so? King of Conqueror, Si Kandal, of course. How can you steal things? Such a behavior is too shameful. As a king, you have to enter openly, then put what you want into your arms openly, and finally leave openly. This is conquest. King of Knights, you are a robber. How can you be so proud of your looting? Si Kandal, does it matter? As a king, isn't it the premise that everything should satisfy one's own desires? At Weber, boy, about this conquest, I will give it to you slowly when I come. Director Ken, at Weber, Mr. Wilwit, while you haven't used my holy relic yet, I can allow you to send it back to me, and I can let it go. Web, King of Conqueror, what am I? I told you the surname is Ken. I like this kid. So, even if you summon me, I will never let you be my servant. Director Ken, you. Stubborn. That's all. It's useless for me to come for a disobedient heroic spirit. But Wilt, when the time comes, I'll teach you a good lesson. Chapter 19. Hassan is trashed. The second screen appeared. In the basement of Tosaka's house, Tokiomi asked Kotomine Kirai, who walked in slowly. Kirai, no one saw you come in. This. Before Kotomine Kirai's words were finished, a shadow appeared out of nowhere and interrupted their conversation. I can attest to this. No matter what temptation, I can never hide it from the eyes of my heroic spirit Hassan. At the end of the second screen, the answer Kotomine Kirai, plus 100 Majesty Hassan. King of Conqueror, Hassan. It's boring. It's just a piece of trash. 100-faced Hassan. What do you mean? King of Conquest. Are you looking down on me? Hassan. Jean Twinkle. I don't think he meant that. What he meant should be. You group of Hassans are all rubbish. Ha ha ha. 100 Majestic Hassan. You. It's so deceiving. Kenneth, this is indeed the truth. Isn't the so-called Hassan a group of guys who can't see the light and can only do a little trick? How can a normal person summon Hassan? D. Lamuto, I know a few masters and assassin, but Hassan is definitely not among them. 100-faced Hassan, At this moment, Hassan's big sister in the Hall of Heroes can only hold herself and crouch in the corner alone, weak and pitiful and helpless. These heroic spirits team up to bully others. Shodai, I've embarrassed you. Not many people care about the episode of 100 Majestic Hassan. And then there is the third scene, the Matu family. Little Sakura, wait for me. I will definitely save you from here. Then, I'm taking Aoi, you, and Rin to play together. Matu Korea touched little Sakura's purple hair, and then resolutely walked into the worm cave. In the worm cave, the old worm looked at Korea in front of him and let out an unpleasant laugh, and said, Hee, Korea, you have already memorized the spell to summon heroic spirits, but you are too weak, so in order to increase your chances of winning, you need to add 2 spells to the spell. Why? This will add the madness attribute to your heroic spirit, and it will also make him stronger. Listening to the old bug, Matu Korea gritted his teeth, but chose to agree. Of course you should blind yourself with chaos. Serve me. You are the cager of prisoners and madness. I am the one who holds the chain. Boom. When Matu Korea finished shouting the command spell, a figure wrapped in black armor appeared. Seeing this scene, Lin Yi couldn't help but shook his head helplessly. If Tong Yinya didn't add these two sentences at that time, he would summon it. I don't know if it would be a gladiolus. Probably not. After all, it's way gone. Kiritsugu has used Avalon as a holy relic. If you grab a saber class, then Amiya Kiritsugu can summon a mysterious heroine. Zalter, right? This episode of Matu Korea is really miserable. In order to save little Sakura, the person who made him is not a ghost or a ghost. Unfortunately, he never thought that his lifespan was less than a month. Even if it was he really rescued little Sakura, wouldn't little Sakura still fall into the clutches of the devil after his death? If I were Matu Korea, I would definitely not add these two sentences, and then directly summon the gladiolus to hack the old bug. Forget it. What are you thinking about? Matu Korea has no god's perspective. Lin Yi shook his head and said nothing more. And in the live room, little Sakura, Korea uncle. Thank you. Matu Korea. Silly boy, what are you thanking me for? I haven't done anything yet. You should thank Lin Yi for saving you from hell. Little Sakura, of course. I will thank Lin Yi big brother for the rest of my life. But Korea uncle will also remember my good little Sakura. King of Conqueror. So, who is this berserker? Hello, can you introduce yourself? Yangtze River Knight. Who? Ho ho. King of Conqueror. Forget it. What you said is the same as what you didn't say. Yangtze River Knight. Ho ho ho. Lin Yi, he said he was a knight. King of Conquest. Yeah, isn't it? Don't you think I don't know this foreign language, and you fool me? I tell you, although my Si Kandal looks rough on the outside, my heart is still very delicate. Lin Yi, I believe you Cole. Why don't you ask Weber carefully and tell me why? I can't handle it. Fourth group, We won Kirai. This war. We won. Tosaka Tokiomi said excitedly. In front of him, a guy dressed in golden light was standing there quietly. End of screen. Tosaka Tokiomi. We won Kirai. This war. We won. Tokiomi Tosaka was very happy. Although there had been speculation for a long time, he was very happy when the speculation was confirmed. Koto Mine Kirai, congratulations, teacher. Koto Mine Kirai also silently sent blessings. Jin Shuang, hey, what's the situation? Why is this king so short? They have so many dramas. Why are there so few of this king? At system, put a little more. Let them take a look at this king's show. Brilliant. Lin Yi, it's not you guy. Do you like being on camera so much? Chapter 20. Amiya Kiritsugu's choice. Jin Shuang. I don't care about this king who is on camera or not. What I care about is, why is this king shorter than that guy Hassan? This is clearly aimed at this king. Matu Korea, at Tadosaka Tokiomi, take care of your servant. Don't yell in the live broadcast room. Tomasaka Tokiomi. Hey, Matu Korea, you are so excited to summon a heroic spirit. I tell you, in front of my king, your servant has no chance of winning. Jin Shining, at Tadosaka Tokiomi. You guy. Although you are very boring, but your vision is still good. Yes, you are just a mad dog. How can you be my opponent? Yangtze River Knight. Who? Ho ho ho. Loli Rin, at Lin Yi. Hurry up, Lin Yi big brother, please translate. Lin Yi. No, do you really think I can understand the language of these berserkers? If it's Qingji, Nanding, Naiguang, etc., I might understand, but this Yangtze River Knight? Forget it. Whoever loves to understand who understands, I don't want to understand at all. At this moment, the system also played the next answer. Einsburn Castle. Amiya Kiritsugu was playing with Ilya in the snow. The father and daughter were extremely harmonious. In the castle room, a golden, peerless beauty in blue and white armor silently retracted his gaze. In my impression, my master should be a ruthless person. If that is his true face, I must have made him very unhappy. Irisfiel, no matter what, you shouldn't laugh at me. No, nothing. I'm just wondering if you mind what you've just been summoned to. Irisfiel said softly. Yes. My king nodded. Although I always wear men's clothes, you don't need to be so surprised. Even if you say that, I can't help it. After all, the story of King Arthur is really famous. The picture ends here, and the correct answer comes out. Saber plus Amiya Kiritsugu. Kenneth, Saber plus Amiya Kiritsugu. This is different from the information I collected. Isn't it the Einsburns who participated in the war? Tosaka Tokiomi. Obviously, we've been fooled. The Einsburns, what a good move. Tosaka Tokiomi has already reacted. According to the information they collected, Einsburn should send his own androids to fight as before. After all, the son-in-law is also an outsider. How could they still be in the face of the temptation of the Holy Grail? Remember your Einsburn house? Linyi, it's really a good idea. If my guess is right at Mbiya Karitsugu, you represented the Einsburn family in the war, and your daughter must stay in the Einsburn family, right? Amiya Karitsugu, that's right. Weber, what? Isn't this a hostage control in disguise? I said why the Einsburn family is willing to let you participate in the battle on behalf of the Einsburn family. Seeing this scene, Lin Yi sighed helplessly. In the worldview of the moon, in fact, the selection branch has already occurred here. If Amiya Karitsugu participates in the Holy Grail War, it will enter the 3 lines of FSN. And if Amiya Karitsugu recklessly took Ilya and Irisville out of here to give up the Holy Grail War, they would enter the magical girl Ilya's world line. Lin Yi, at Amiya Karitsugu, Ibu is wrong for life. Are you sure you want to participate in the Holy Grail War? Amiya Karitsugu, that's right. For my ideals, I must participate in the Holy Grail War and win. Tokiomi Tosaka ha, Kenneth ha, Matu Korea ha, King of Conquest he. At Weber, why don't you he? Weber he what? Like a bunch of villains. Giles this. How is it possible? This face. That's right. It's you. It's you. My holy maiden. Did the gods send you to me after hearing my call? That title will be harmonized. It means the same anyway. King of Knights, Gills, you have mistaken the person. I have nothing to do with the holy maiden you speak of. Giles, no. I'll never admit it. It's you. It's absolutely you. Why? Why are you denying it? Are you blaming me? The King of Knights. I said you've got the wrong person. My king is very helpless. How can there be such a person in this world? To admit that everyone is wrong, it is really speechless. How can there be people who look exactly the same in this world? And that holy Virgo is not Xiao Mo. How can they look so similar? Sure enough. Is this Giles a lunatic? Duh. Chapter 21. The Ryanosuk Yushing who committed the wrath. In a dark room, a young man is drawing something on the ground. If you look closely, you will find that what he used to draw the magic circle turned out to be human blood. And the sound of the radio playing in his ear also explained the origin of the blood. Recently, at the scene of the 3 death incidents in our city, a magic circle drawn with the blood of the victim was left behind. Full. This time is right. It's 5 times. This spell to summon demons is really troublesome. Yushing Ryanosuk said so, and in front of him, a tied little boy was struggling constantly. Obviously, this little boy is the sacrifice prepared by Yushing Ryanosuk, or it can be said to be a holy relic. Then, Giles came. Just when Yushing Ryanosuk asked him if he wanted to eat, Giles came to the little boy, and then he gently loosened the restraint of the little boy, and then said to him, "Little boy, you can escape through that door. You can definitely do it." When the screen arrived here, everyone in the live broadcast room nodded silently. Weber, it's not bad. It's really different from that pervert. Little Sakura, in this world, are there still people who like children? Yu Ryanosuk, hey. At Gillis, what are you doing? That's my prey. Giles didn't answer him, but the 2 people in the live broadcast room had already discovered that something was wrong. Amiya Karitsugu and Kodomine Kirai, the 2 of them didn't say a word, but they all guessed what was going to happen next. Really, when the little boy reaches the door, he sees the sunlight coming in through the window, and the hope of life appears in the little boy's eyes. Then, brush, the tentacles of the octopus suddenly rushed out, and in an instant, the little boy who had just gained hope of life was directly pulled back into the abyss. And then, there was only heart-piercing despair and screams. Giles, ha! Have you seen it? This is art. Fear is fresh, and they will despair only when they see hope. Have you learned? Yushing Ryanosuk, haha. That's how it is. UB ********* D. Are you a genius? Amiya Karitsugu, sure enough, you guys are really the most suitable group. Web disgusting. Garbage. Beasts. Why are there people like you in this world? You are the scum of this world. King of Conquest, Si Kandal, Little Weber, calm down, this kind of people. I will settle accounts with them sooner or later. King of Knights Artoria, you shouldn't appear. Matu Korea. Do you have any humanity even if you do anything to children? Tokiomi Tosaka can't compare to you. Kodo Mind Rijing. I will send you to see such a blasphemous person. Tomasaka Tokiomi. Send me your address, and I'll send you something. Ryanosuk Yushing, hey. Are you angry? Are you angry? It's useless to tell you. I've packed up and left, and I'll be back when I summon the heroic spirit, so, haha, just wait and enjoy what I bring to you. Your fears, Yushing Ryanosuk is also a little flustered. This is just the beginning. Has he offended everyone? How to do? In a hurry. Announcement of the 7th group. The sound of the system sounded again, and then Kenneth puffed out his chest proudly. Kenneth, did you see it? What is Pine Yen? The last one. This is Pine Yen. This is destiny. I am the protagonist. 7th group. One picture, Kenneth sitting on the sofa, Durumdo on the right, and Sora on the left. The 7th group of answers, Kenneth plus Lancer. Kenneth, Matu Kuriyuft? Ha ha ha. It really is the main character treatment. I thought Jean Shining and Tomisaka Tokiomi were short enough. Unexpectedly, this is even shorter. Jean Shining. I don't know why, but I suddenly became balanced. Web ha ha ha. I really don't want to laugh, but I can't help it. Seeing this group of people in the live broadcast room, Kenneth was going to die of anger. What's going on? Isn't this playing people? Too much, too much. Listening to these people's words, Kenneth is going crazy, but he can't help it. After all, he can't control other people's systems. At a critical time, Dilamujuo stood up and said, "Cough, everyone. Don't care about this. The regular 7 groups have been announced to be over, and the next thing is the key point. The 2 groups that came out of nowhere are the only ones. It's what we need to be most concerned about." Chapter 22. Love is a green light that makes you panic. On a moonlit night with few stars, in a courtyard, a figure is approaching. Lancer, come out. Then, Durumdo's figure appeared. Miss Sora, how is the master? The situation is not ideal, although I have taken all the measures I can. Sora said indifferently, as if speaking of an irrelevant person. Blame me. No, it's not your fault at all. It's all Kenneth's fault. But, Dilamujuo wanted to say something, but Sora came directly to him. He's not suitable to be your master at all, Durumdo. Having said that, Sora saw Dilamudo's handsome face again, especially the tear mole, and for a moment, a slight blush appeared on her face. That was a shy expression, and her eyes were full of stories. Sora hurriedly shook her head, then threw all those thoughts to the back of her head, and then she raised the back of her hand. On her back, the bright red command spell was eye-catching. Kenneth gave up the Holy Grail War. He has given up the master's rights to me. The screen has ended here, and the system also said the answer, the 8th group, Sola Nizel Sophiali plus Lancer. Then, Kenneth, what the hell happened? Why is this happening? Lin Yi falls in love with a wild horse, but there is no grassland in your home. Durumdo, Mr. Kenneth, this? I don't know what happened, but it seems that something happened to you, and then Miss Sola inherited your command spell. Kenneth, how could it be? How could I have an accident? I'm Kenneth, the chief lecturer of the Clock Tower, a genius among magicians. Lin Yi, love is a light, so wonderful, that illuminates the future of our courage. Weber, well, it seems that it doesn't matter whether the magician is strong or not, whether Yamato wins or not. Kenneth Webb, shut me up. At Sora, do you know what's going on? Lin Yi, looking forward to a lucky and a shock. What a wonderful encounter. Climb over the top of the mountain ahead and the layers of white clouds. Where is the green light? Kenneth at Lin Yi, enough of you. What are you doing there? Lin Yi, I didn't do anything. It's just a group of water. Kenneth, nonsense. You're singing there, and you haven't stopped at all. Lin Yi, hey, calm down, calm down. How about I sing you a beautiful prairie, my home, to comfort you? Kenneth, I don't have the heart to listen to music now. Who can tell me what happened? Little Oro and Mary, I'm going to interject here. I live in 10 years, and according to what I know, 10 years ago, Kenneth, the monarch of the Or branch of the Clock Tower, and Sora, the daughter of the Minister of Seances, participated in the 4th event, the Holy Grail War, and then neither of them came back. I don't know what happened. Maybe only El Meloi too in this world knows what happened. Tosaka Tokiomi. Okay, Kenneth, calm down. What's the tension? This is the Holy Grail War. Isn't it normal for something to happen? This can only mean that you are not good at your own skills. So look away and wait. When the Holy Grail War begins, you just give up the Holy Grail and you'll be fine. Kenneth Dream. It's the Holy Grail. How could I ever give up? Tokiomi Tosaka. Then there's no other way. It seems, Lord Kenneth. Then we'll see you on the battlefield. Well, the last episode should be played. I'm curious, whose heroic spirit was taken away? Already. In a dark room, Kotomine Kirai raised his arm. You obey my orders. And if you wish to live in the Holy Grail, follow this meaning and obey its rights. On the opposite side of Kotomine Kirai, Jean Shining said indifferently, I swear, your offering will be turned into my flesh and blood, Kotomine Kirai, my new master. The screen turned to Kotomine Kirai's arm, and at this moment, on his arm, Rows of densely packed command spells were revealed, and bright rays of light were also emitted from these command spells. The screen ends here, and the final answer officially appears. The ninth group, Kodomine Kyrie plus Archer. All the answers have been announced. The rewards are distributed. Tosaka Token this? What's going on? Isn't Jean shining my servant? Why would you sign a contract with someone else? Matu Korea. Haha, are you a fool? Doesn't that mean something? You're dead. Duh. Chapter 23. Pot King, Amiya Kiritsugu. Matu Korea. Haha, are you a fool? Doesn't that mean something? You're dead. Tokiomi Tosaka, at Mato Korea. What nonsense are you talking about? How could I die? How could I die? How could I die if there was gold glittering here? Tosaka Tokiomi didn't believe that he was so stubborn. How could it be possible for someone who was watching the live broadcast while hiding at home in the Battle of the Heroic Spirits to have a situation where Jean Twinkle died before he died? This is not normal. Kodomine Kyrie, teacher, is it because you were attacked by someone, so you couldn't fight? That's why you entrusted Jean Shining to me? Kodomine Kyrie came up with an idea at this time. He came up with this idea entirely because he had an intuition about Amiya Kiritsugu, and he felt that Amiya Kiritsugu was such a person. Little Ilya Humph. At Kodomine Kyrie, stop talking nonsense. Kiritsugu is not that kind of person. Amiya Kiritsugu this. Amiya Kiritsugu felt a little guilty at the moment, because this was indeed a bit like his style. When other Orthodox magicians engage in the Holy Grail War, they all have two heroic spirits attacking each other, and the winner will kill the other heroic spirit. If the master is cruel, he will directly kill the opposing master together. This kind of situation where the heroic spirit is still there, but the master is gone, it really looks like his handwriting. Kenneth what? At Amiya Kiritsugu. So you do my business too? In an instant, everyone pointed their finger at Amiya Kiritsugu, regardless of whether he made it or not. Throw the pot to him first. Seeing Amiya Kiritsugu being attacked by the crowd, Lin Yi couldn't help shaking his head. This pot king turned into Amiya Kiritsugu? You are looking down on me, Tokiomi Tomasaka, the king of the pot of all worlds. Forget it, you'll know it later anyway. Just recite it for a while. Irisfield. Kenneth, don't wrong people. The Holy Grail War hasn't started yet. Who knows what happened? Weber, that's right. But compared to this, you don't care about the command spells on Kodomine Kyrie's arm. Doesn't the master only have 3 command spells? How can that man have so many? Kodomine Rijing. I can explain this. Those command spells are the ones that were not used up by the former Holy Grail War participants. They are kept by the administrator of the Church of the Holy Grail. Now I am in charge, and if I die, they will be replaced. To be the next one, Kyrie is my son, which means I'm dead. Wait, what happened? I didn't participate in the Holy Grail War. I'm just a spectator. Why am I dying? Yinfeng Rijing also reacted. Isn't this wrong? He suddenly joined a group, and then suddenly found himself dead? You are too tormenting. Kenneth, we don't care if you die or not. What I care about is now. At Kodomine Kyrie, how could you, a supervisor of the Holy Grail War, participate in the Holy Grail War? You are cheating. Cheating. Shameless. Web inside. I firmly protest this behavior. Amiya Kiritsugu. I also despise this kind of behavior. 100 Majestic Hassan, no, don't you all care about me? After all, if Kodomine Kyrie and Jean Shining make a contract, doesn't that mean I'm leaving too? Si Kandal. Isn't it normal for you to exit the stage with an assassin? What's all the fuss about? 100-faced Hassan. I rely on. For a while, everyone was guessing at each other that this question affected them far more than the first question. After all, the first question is only related to the Tosaka family, and there is a distance between them. But now these questions are closely related to them. Matu Korea, haha. Finally, I also become a magician. 400 points for EX level magic circuits. I feel like I am full of power now. Suddenly, Matu Korea's voice appeared in the live broadcast room, and his words made everyone focus on Matu Korea. Someone actually redeemed the magic circuit, and it really worked. Weber, really redeemable. 4 EX level magic circuits? At Mato Korea, what level are you now? Matu Korea, I don't know. After all, I haven't learned magic, and I just have magic power without magic. But at least I have the qualifications to participate in the Holy Grail War. And I feel that I am now more than Tosaka Tokiomi, not too bad. Tosaka Rin, it can really be exchanged. At Sakura, that little Sakura is great. You don't have to go to another family. Just exchange 6 magic circuits, and then my sister will take you to the basement, where there are a bunch of magic books. Little Sakura, Tokiomi Tosaka, I don't know who gave you confidence. It's just 4 magic circuits. I have 600 points. The gap between you and me will only get bigger and bigger. Matu Korea, damn it. Why do you guys have such good luck? Little Oro and Mary. So, for 100 points can create a good magician? Then I can ask, yeah, I heard that you have 2,000 points. Isn't this man posted? Duh. Chapter 24. This Lin Yi is not easy brush. In an instant, everyone was attracted by the words of Little Oro and Mary. Yes, Matu Yen Yoruchi, a layman, only used 400 points to strengthen to this point. Lin, who has 2,000 points, 1,000 points in the previous live broadcast. How strong is Yi? I am afraid that the level of magic is higher than Tosaka Tokiomi. Amiya Kuritsugu, no, 2,000 points are a lot, but it's not too scary. The problem is that gift box. I got one before the live broadcast, and I got another one just now. Who knows what's in it? Weber, envy, jealousy, hate. Woohoo, I want a gift box too. I want points too. Koto Mind Kirii, what's more terrifying isn't this? Don't you all feel weird? He actually answered all the 9 groups of participants correctly. How is this possible? This is definitely not normal, right? Little Oro and Mary, it's not abnormal. Right at Koto Mind Kirii. It's rare and strange. Let me introduce my teacher, Trisha Phylos, a top magician with the magic eye of the future, in the magician's world, predicting what will be difficult in the future. Yes, a group of rare and strange guys. I also have an ability called Shunagumuru, as the name suggests. It is the eyes that can see through the future, but this king doesn't like that feeling, so for fun usually it's closed. King of Knights, you all know my identity. Merlin, who is also my teacher and friend, doesn't need me to tell his story. Lin Yi? No, are you all so well informed? I'm still thinking about how to explain it. You guys gave me all the brains so quickly, but it can't be considered a brain supplement. The Moon world is really a world with a high degree of mystery. There is really no shortage of prophets. There is still a month before the start of the 4th Holy Grail War. Although it is difficult, there are still a few people in the Xinhua world who can do it. For example, the Axe of Uruk, the Israeli boxing champion, and the British juggernaut. Yes, the Queen of the Kingdom of Shadows can do it too. Looking at the speeches of these people, what else could Lin Yi say? He could only smile without saying a word. And the silent Lin Yi made these people firm up their thoughts. That's right. This Lin Yi is definitely not an ordinary existence. At least a big prophet. Being able to predict what will happen in a month, this level must be higher than the teacher of Little Oro and Mary. Even if it is placed in the clock tower, it is a person who was offered up. For a while, everyone present became active. Kenneth, at Lin Yi. Mr. Lin Yi, we see that you don't seem to be participating in the Holy Grail War. I'm afraid you are not interested in this. I don't know if you are interested in coming to our Elmalo family. I will represent our Elmalo the most sincere welcome from the family. Alice Phil, at Lin Yi, how do you feel about our Einsburn family? Si Kandal, yeah, come to me and be my servant. The position of my military advisor will be handed over to you. When I change my body, we will conquer the world together, and then I will be the king of the world. You can also be under one person and over 10,000 people. How? Listening to Si Kandal's words, Lin Yi rolled his eyes at him. The position of your military division should be left to Weber Kongming in the future. I don't want to be under you. Matu Korea. Cooperate with me, Lin Yi. I know you must hate old bugs. When the time comes we will participate in the Holy Grail War. I will be responsible for killing Tomisaka Tokiomi. You are responsible for killing old bugs. Then the Holy Grail here. I just need to be the head of the Matu family. How? At this moment, Matu Yinya's mind was also alive. He had been living in a daze before. Why was that? Because he is Matu Korea. He is a useless person. He is not even a magician. So even if he sees the person he loves falling into the arms of others, he can only leave silently. But now it's different. He's a magician. It's not strong yet, but it will definitely get stronger in the future. It's a good time like the Holy Grail War. In this case, why can't he let it go? 1. He became the head of the royal family and married by Fume and 2 lovely daughters. Lost. The big deal is death. It's better than this. Tomisaka Tokiomi, at Mado Korea, discussing with others to kill your own father. You are really a dutiful son. At Mr. Lin Yi, I have self-knowledge and know that with our identity, we will definitely not be able to get into your eyes. However, I have an unkind request. At Sakura, you saved the lives of the 2 of them. Since there is such a fate, I hope that my 2 incompetent daughters can worship you as a teacher. What do you think? Tokiomi Tosaka is really smart. He is worthy of being the most outstanding head of the Tosaka family for 100 years. No wonder Lao Su commented that if he did not die, he would definitely lead the Tosaka family to glory. This brain is really good. Chapter 25. Concept Dress. Moon Spirit Essence. Tokiomi Tosaka has his own ideas. Lin Yi is extremely mysterious. Now he has won several awards from the live broadcast room, and he has a powerful, god-level heroic spirit beside him. And that heroic spirit was summoned by his own daughter. It can be said that this Lin Yi and his Tosaka family are destined to have a certain relationship. Moreover, he is not like those people who open his mouth to recruit, but retreats to advance, so that even if the other party refuses, it is nothing. Sure enough, seeing the message from Tosaka Tokiomi, the two little Loli nodded immediately. Loli Rin, at Lin Yi. If my teacher is a big brother, I agree. Tosaka Sakura. I would also like to be a student of the big brother. The two little Loli had a good impression of Lin Yi, so when Tokiomi Tosaka said a word, they naturally agreed quickly. However, seeing the two little Loli agree, Lin Yi just shook his head silently. Forget it. I'm not interested in being a teacher yet. Being a teacher, wouldn't it take a lot of time to teach two little Loli? Of course, it's fine if it just takes time, but teaching, so troublesome. Seeing Lin Yi's refusal, Tokiomi Tosaka didn't say anything. He just silently responded. It doesn't matter if Mr. Lin Yi doesn't want to be a teacher now. My daughters are still young. If Mr. Lin Yi wants to one day, I'll welcome it at any time. Tokiomi Tosaka stopped talking after sending this message, and the two little Loli beside him were also disappointed now. King of Conqueror at Lin Yi. Haha, did you finally show up? Lin Yi, how is it? Are you interested in what I said just now? How about you think about it? Lin Yi, forget it. I'm not interested in conquering the world or anything like that. Lin Yi rejected Si Kandal without hesitation. Although the great emperor has a very strong personality, it is a pity that Lin Yi is not the kind of person who is willing to be subordinated to others, even if it is only under one person. Inside the Hall of Valor, Si Kandar shook his head helplessly when he saw Lin Yi's answer. What a pity. This man is very interesting. Little Oro and Mary, at Lin Yi. Lin Yi, what good things did you draw from those two treasure chests? Can you tell me? Weber, how is it possible? Who would tell you about such a personal matter? Although, I'm also curious about what's in it. Elchan, I can tell you what I got. Ailey has already drawn her reward at this moment, but she felt that her reward was nothing, so she sent it out directly. Samsung Magic Concept Dress, Sea of Reeds, effect. Gives the bearer an evasion state once a day, weakens the resistance, and increases. Kenneth Magic Dress? Or Concept Magic Dress, what is this? Jean Twinkle dodge once? How do you dodge? Dodge 100%. Weber, it sounds like it should be possible to avoid the damage of any kind of skill, but I don't know if the Noble Phantasm is also possible. Kenneth, it's definitely possible. After all, the things produced in the live broadcast room are definitely not simple. King of Knights Artoria, then this effect is too terrible. If I shoot the Noble Phantasm in the past, and the other party uses this ability directly, wouldn't I be slaughtered by others without the Noble Phantasm? In the Battle of Heroic Spirits, Noble Phantasms account for the vast majority. My king is not bad. If you change to a big hero, you will be killed in the past, and people will avoid it directly. Then you are not going to cry to death? Hearing what my king said, everyone looked at Ailey with admiration. They wanted something so good too. At this moment, the voice of the system in Lin Yi's mind also rang. Congratulations to the master for successfully completing the second live Q&A and getting rewards, 5-star Magic Concept Dress, and Moon Spirit Essence. 5-star Magic Concept Dress, Moon Spirit Essence, effect. Grants the holder an invincible state 3 times a day, and the holder's damage increases. Moon Spirit Marrow? Invincible 3 times? Good thing. Isn't this the enhanced version of the 3-star costume that Elchan got? It's not bad. There is already an end sword in the attack, and a Moon Spirit Essence that is invincible in defense is added, which is very reassuring. But compared to system rewards, my own treasure chest is more expected. Lin Yi looked at the treasure chest in front of him. This was the reward he had just received. This treasure chest brought him the ending sword last time. What will this treasure chest give him this time? Chapter 26. The Spearman, luck is naughty. Lin Yi wiped his hands with a wet tissue, then looked around. This is a park, it's really not suitable for bathing, changing clothes, burning incense and praying, so there is no other way, just come. System, open the box for me. Good host. Swipe. The next second, a golden light appeared in front of Lin Yi, and then in Lin Yi's hand, a strange card appeared out of thin air. This card looks no different from ordinary paper cards. If you have to say the difference, it may be that the back of this card depicts a knight holding a spear, while the front is a man in blue armor holding a red spear. Heroic Man. Congratulations, Master, I got the item. Heroic Spirit Class Card. See you Chulin Lancer. Heroic Spirit Class Card. A card from the magical girl Ilia world. created by Ainsworth that can borrow the power of heroic spirits. Effects include normal summoning. The user can summon the noble phantasm held by the heroic spirit in the rank card. Dream summon. The user can summon the spiritual base of the heroic spirit in the rank card to bless him, so as to obtain all the abilities of the heroic spirit. Note: after a class card is limited to one time, it cannot be limited to expand again within a few hours. Looking at the class card in his hand, Lin Yi felt his eyes light up. Magical Girl Ilya's class card in the world. One can make an ordinary person and a heroic spirit compete head-on. Wait, system, if I use this rank card, what should I do with my own attributes and noble phantasm? Lin Yi looked at his attribute panel name. Lin Yi S**X. Male strength, durability, agility, magic be lucky, noble phantasm EX ability. None. Well, other than the magic power itself, other attributes are the attributes of an ordinary person, but this magic power is very important. Master, when you use the heroic spirit class card, the heroic spirit's abilities will be superimposed on you. Lin Yi's eyes lit up. He still knew about Siyu Chulin's attributes. Strength, B, durability, C, agility, A, magic, C, luck, E, noble phantasm. If he used a class card, then this attribute would become strength, B, durability, C, agility, A, magic, A, lucky, E, noble phantasm EX. Wait, system, why is my luck still E? How lucky is my luck? System, master, your luck is the luck of normal people. Lin Yi, wait, you mean, my luck is not as good as Kuchulain? System, master, friendly reminder, even if it is lucky E, it is 10 times more than ordinary people, the kind that can win lottery tickets, master you. Lin Yi cough. Okay, let's skip this topic. Isn't it because the attributes are lower? We have a way to make up for it in the future. By the way, don't I still have 1,000 points? I'll see what good things are in the mall. Lin Yi directly opened the points mall, and he began to browse quickly. With 1,000 points, it is definitely impossible to exchange for any top-level noble phantasm, but it is not difficult to exchange some attributes. Strength Sandbag, 1,000 points, can improve muscle strength after use. Fruit of the Wind, 1,000 points, can increase agility after use. Lucky Egg, 1,000 points, can improve luck after use. Looking at these items, Lin Yi thought for a while, and then exchanged the lucky eggs without hesitation. System, I want to buy lucky eggs. That's right. Lin Yi feels that his top priority now is to improve his luck. Many people may feel that luck is useless, but Lin Yi understands. If Siyu Chulin wasn't lucky E, that guy would never die so miserably in all 3 lines. If Durumdo was not lucky E, he would never commit suicide. If Brynhild hadn't been lucky E, she would never have eaten the elixir of love and then fought the old sword and died. If Li Shuwen is not lucky E, he will not play no 2 hits in Fei to fail the judgment. What if just now these few seem to be spearmen? Well, sure enough, the spearmen have been lucky since ancient times. Good host, brush. In an instant, a white, round thing appeared on Lin Yi's hand. Isn't this an egg? What a lucky egg. If you want this stuff, I can buy you a basket for 100 yuan. After looking at the egg, Lin Yi sighed helplessly and then said directly, System, is it cooked? It's cooked. The master can take it directly. What else can Lin Yi say? He could only eat the egg in front of him. However, what kind of warm current Lin Yi was waiting for flooded his body. His mind suddenly became clear, and the only feeling was, Lin Yi, system, remember to give me a packet of hot sauce next time. The taste is too bland, system. Congratulations to the master for successfully taking the lucky egg. The master's luck has been improved, and congratulations to the master's lucky rise to B. Luckily, this turned into a B. Lin Yi looked at his attribute panel, and sure enough, the question mark in the lucky column had disappeared, replaced by an extremely clear B. Looking at this B, Lin Yi also showed a happy smile on his face. I am a gunman. Luck is naughty. Chapter 27. Changed to a heroic spirit to summon in the garden. Lin Yi silently released his end sword, and then, a golden light rose directly into the sky. The end sword, every time it is activated, it will launch a great flood of world destruction, and this technique is launched from the sky to the bottom, and it is projected from the satellite orbit. Therefore, Lin Yi naturally had to prepare early. Watching the light fly into the sky until it was invisible to the naked eye, a satisfied smile appeared on Lin Yi's face. It's done. Lin Yi clapped his hands, and then turned his attention to Lei-chan who was on the side. Leave L, go home. Lin Yi went directly to L's side and said, Let's leave L. It's time for us to go home. Going home? It just got dark today. Is it too early to go back now? Is it early? It seems to be a bit. Otherwise, let me show you around Fuyuki City. You have been living in the age of God, and you probably don't know the taste of the modern world. What's interesting in modern society? I can't see any mystery at all. I met that magician today, and it's very interesting. It's not interesting at all. That's one of the founders of the Yuzin family. If the old bug knew what you said about him, he would definitely cry to death. Lin Yi couldn't help laughing, but Ale did have the qualifications to say such a thing. But she is the goddess of the gods. When the Oil King met Medea, wasn't his proud magic workshop also despised by Medea to the extreme? Even so, at least change your clothes. Don't you feel that your clothes are incompatible with this place? Lin Yi looked at Ale Jiang helplessly in front of him, wearing black clothes, a red robe, black pantyhose on one leg, and not even a pair of shoes on her delicate feet. I have to say, it's beautiful. However, walking on the street feels like it just came out of a comic. Fortunately, it's you who came. If it's E.C. Talon. Lin Yi didn't say any more. Anyone who knew E.C. Tarin's clothes knew that there was less fabric than a swimsuit, and the most covered area was the pantyhose on one leg. How can I put it? It's very sexy. Okay, let's go. Come here, go shopping, eat something and change your clothes. Then, okay. Ali nodded. Since she was summoned, she could only be obedient, right? Ale and Lin Yi left directly, and at the same time, Einsburn Castle Kiritsugu, have you really decided? Irisville looked at Amiya Kiritsugu in front of her. She didn't know why Amiya Kiritsugu suddenly changed her mind. That's right. I've decided that this time the heroic spirit will be summoned by you. Amiya Kiritsugu said firmly, now that our plan has been exposed, there will be no difference between you and me who summons. And, if you were to summon the King of Knights, it would have an even more unexpected effect. Originally, Amiya Kiritsugu's plan was for Irisville to pretend to be the master to attract firepower. He hid and used a sneak attack to solve the enemy. But now, the plan has come to light, so he has to change his approach. If it's your decision, then, this time, it's up to me to summon. Irisville nodded. She didn't think as much as Amiya Kiritsugu did, but she knew that Amiya Kiritsugu would definitely think more than herself comprehensive, so she can choose to be obedient. Tosaka family Tosaka Tokiomi sat in his seat. He looked at Kotomine Kirai who was standing in front of him and said nothing, although everyone thought that his exit was done by Amiya Kiritsugu, but Kotomine Kirai still felt that he did not say a word. So simple. Even if Amiya Kiritsugu really came to attack him, how could he who possesses gem magic and Gilgamesh fail? Also, isn't the place where Kotomine Kirai and Gilgamesh contracted in the live broadcast, isn't that his own home? Kirai, do you have any wishes? Tosaka Tokiomi suddenly asked. Me? I haven't thought about it. Kotomine Kirai shook his head. I haven't thought about it doesn't mean I don't, you. Don't you want to resurrect your wife? No, she should be living happily in heaven now. Kotomine Kirai shook his head again. Well, since you said so, are you ready to summon the magic circle? Ready, I'll summon Hassan in a while. Kotomine Kirai nodded. No, I have prepared a new holy relic for you. This time, don't summon Hassan. Tokiomi Tosaka took out a box from his side. Kotomine Kirai took over the box, and then he opened the box directly, and inside the box lay a pair of old sunglasses with a missing lens. Teacher, this is? Do you know Li Shuwen? Duh. Chapter 28. Maybe, to not be alone, Li Shuwen. Of course I know. Even Kotomine Kirai couldn't help but get excited at this moment. The name Li Shuwen may not be known to others, but it is impossible for him not to know. To be precise, no one who learns Bajikwan does not know him, and there is no second punch in the boxing, Shinso Li Shuwen. The master-level figure of Bajikwan, Kotomine Riki, even told him the story of each other when he was teaching him Bajikwan in his new year. But teacher, didn't you ask me to summon Hassan to collect information for you? What? Kotomine Kirai stopped talking, no matter how he looked at it. Li Shuwen was definitely not the kind of person who would collect information, right? Because there is no need to collect information anymore. Tokiomi Tosaka shook his head. Now that there is a live broadcast room, everyone's information has been put on the bright side. So isn't it useless for you to summon Hassan? Even if other Hassan are summoned, as everyone said in the live broadcast room, those dark guys are useless at all. Instead of summoning them, it is better to have one more helper. Listening to Tosaka Tokiomi's words, Kotomine Kirai nodded silently. I understand the teacher. I will go back and summon Master Li. After Kotomine Kirai finished speaking, he turned around and left. And looking at Kotomine Kirai's back, Tosaka Tokiomi silently sighed. I hope this time, I can get the Holy Grail. Lin Yi, do you want the Holy Grail? Walking on the streets of Fuyuki City, Ali looked at Lin Yi next to her and asked. At this moment, Ali is completely different from when she just arrived. She is wearing a red dress, with 2 white hairbands and 2 black silks that completely wrap her beautiful legs that can be played for a year. If Elle before was a goddess, now she is more like an educated noble lady. I have to say, Lin Ye's eyesight is still very good. The Holy Grail? Forget it. That kind of thing is useless to me. Lin Yi shook his head. If it was the Holy Grail of the Fgo world, he could still have it. The Holy Grail of the world is not a good thing. Who doesn't know if this Holy Grail is a bottle of poison or the kind that kills whoever touches it? Huh? You don't want the Holy Grail? Ale looked at Lin Yi incomprehensibly. She originally thought that Lin Yi summoned her to grab the Holy Grail. Looking at it this way, she felt like she was wrong. Sure, what? Are you interested in the Holy Grail? Of course. Ali-chan nodded. Since it is penultimate's magic resource, it can be effectively used in various places. As long as it is not wasted, I feel that the more reserves the better. Ali answered quite seriously. After all, as a heroic spirit, there are very few who are not interested in the Holy Grail. Perhaps only that fellow Xian Wang will come up with a Holy Grail to save a Jin Gu who is exactly like his friend. Don't you want the Holy Grail? Since you don't want it, why do you still summon heroic spirits? Il didn't understand. Isn't people summoning heroic spirits to grab the Holy Grail? Could there be other reasons? Listening to El's words, Lin Yi thought for a while. Why did you summon the heroic spirit yourself? To protect yourself? With his current strength, although he cannot be said to be invincible, he is more than capable of making mistakes. What is that for? Maybe it's to not be lonely, Lin Yi said. After crossing into this world, Lin Yi was already alone. Compared with those who had never met, at least those who had known him before gave him a more familiar feeling. Otherwise, he might as well leave here and go to a random place, relying on his own conditions to pass through the master to live a peaceful life. Listening to Lin Ye's words, Ali suddenly felt a sense of loneliness in Lin Yi, and she would never feel wrong. That feeling was the same as when she lived alone in the underworld. She can understand the feeling. She is the goddess of the underworld, the existence that the whole Uruk looks up to. However, no one understands her loneliness. In the underworld where no vines will grow, there is and only she exists in it. Accompanying her, only endless darkness and loneliness. Thinking of this, Ile suddenly said to Lin Yi who was beside her, "Your friends? Where are your relatives?" "Not in this world." "I'm sorry." Ali found that she had said the wrong thing, and then quickly lowered her head. As the goddess of the underworld, she knew too much about the pain of life and death. Although she might have misunderstood what Lin Yi meant, she still wanted to make up for her own mistakes. "After all, you are my master. If you can guarantee that you will not be casual with me, and that you can guarantee my majesty and stance, occasionally, you can count on me as a friend." Aile's voice is getting smaller and smaller. What is she talking about? What to rely on as a friend? How can a goddess be a friend of mankind? However, since they are both masters and servants, it seems that it is not impossible for them to be friends. Chapter 29. There are flowers in the underworld, although only one. Goddess, will you be friends with humans? Lin Yi smiled and looked at the figure beside him. Looking at Lin Yi in front of her, Elle said with a little embarrassment, "What's so strange? You are a master living in modern times, and I am a goddess who is looking forward to it. Your joy is my purpose. Even if the brilliance will disappear one day, before that, I will be by your side to protect you." Ailey is very sincere. This is how Ailey's character is. In this regard, she and her sister E.C. Taryn can be said to be completely different. And listening to Ali's words, Lin Yi also showed a smile. Because he had already heard it, when she said this, Ali was not speaking in the tone of the goddess of the underworld, but was communicating with herself as an irreplaceable friend. "Ellie, thank you." "Huh? Yes. What is there to be thankful for? Don't look like you're really thankful. It's always a bit strange. If you really appreciate me, in the future, take me around this world for a bit more." Turn around. Ali looked at the brightly lit city in front of her, with envy that could not be hidden in her eyes. "Do you like modern cities?" "To be exact, I like this kind of lively city with fireworks. Whether it's flowers, wind, stars, or water, everything is so beautiful. The most important thing is that I learned a lot of interesting things just now. One day, I will definitely build a metropolis in the underworld that does not belong to your modern city." Ellie said with her head held high with confidence. This is her dream, and she will definitely work hard for it. Lin Yi just looked at Ale quietly. At this moment, it seemed that there were only 2 people left in the world. For a long time, a young voice broke the silence. "Big brother, buy a flower for your girlfriend. She will definitely like it." In front of Lin Yi, a cute little boy was holding a bunch of roses and talking to Lin Yi in front of him. Listening to the little boy's words, she swiped, and in an instant, Ali's pretty face turned red. Who? Who? Who is his girlfriend? Don't talk nonsense, you little kid. But big brother and big sister are a good match. The little boy said blankly, and then he looked at Lin Yi in front of him again and said then, big brother, buy a flower for big sister, so she will be your girlfriend. Hashtag, backslash hashtag, haha, okay, then give me one. Lin Yi took a rose from the little boy's hand, and after giving the money, Lin Yi said to him, go back early, this time at night. It's better not to come out, there are more bad people. Yeah, thank you big brother. The little boy happily took the money and ran away. And when the little boy completely left, Lin Yi handed the flower in his hand to lay in front of him. You, don't think about it. I'm not ready to be your girlfriend. I didn't ask you to be my girlfriend, it's just a gift between friends. I remember that you like flowers very much. Lin Yi handed the rose to Lei. Lei looked at Lin Yi and found that Lin Yi's face was calm before she silently took the rose and said, although I like living flowers, thank you anyway. Lei took the rose and then put her gently on the tip of her nose and smelled it. The flower was very fragrant, and Lei also enjoyed it very much. The underworld is a lifeless world, and even the most tenacious weeds cannot survive. Therefore, Lei's love for flowers is unimaginable for ordinary people. You like flowers very much. Of course, my underworld has never seen these. Even if I bring the flowers back from the ground, I will die instantly. Therefore, there are never flowers in the underworld. Who said there are no flowers in the underworld? In fact, there are flowers in the underworld, although there is only one flower. Huh? There are flowers in the underworld? Impossible. I am the goddess of the underworld. Ali looked at Lin Yi in disbelief. She felt that Lin Yi was just talking nonsense. However, Lin Yi didn't say anything. He just looked at himself lightly. For a moment, Ali seemed to understand something, and she quickly lowered her head and did not dare to look into Lin Yi's eyes. Yes, there are flowers in the underworld, and she herself is the most beautiful flower in the underworld. But that's too embarrassing. I suddenly knew what I was going to make a wish to the Holy Grail. Huh? What wish? Ali didn't understand. Wasn't Lin Yi not interested in the Holy Grail just now? Why do you suddenly have a wish? I want to make the underworld full of flowers, although it is not realistic. But since it is the Holy Grail, it can definitely be done. Huh? What are you kidding? You want the Holy Grail for such a frivolous wish? Is it boring? I find it interesting. How about it? Do you want to try it? This, cough. Well, who made you the master, in this case? I have to listen to you, but I have to say it before. If the flowers you plant in the underworld are not beautiful, I will not promise. All right, I like lavender, and it helps with sleep. How do you feel? But I prefer roses. Don't you think roses are pretty? Would it be the dog's tail flower? Its vitality is tenacious. You dare. The two figures are walking farther and farther on this street. I am afraid that the masters and servants who participated in the Holy Grail War would never have imagined that someone robbed the Holy Grail just for this desire. If they knew, I guess, they would really be crazy. Chapter 30. The third live Q&A begins. It has been a few days since the second Holy Grail War. During this time, everyone involved in the Holy Grail War is preparing. Everything seems to be peaceful, but no one has forgotten that there is a magical live broadcast room that has always existed in their minds until the third live Q&A is about to start. All staff please prepare. The live room staff is being added. Heroic spirits Finn, Alexander, Cursed Arm Hassan, Ku Chulancaster, and Li Shuwen Assassin join the live broadcast room. Humans Oro and Mary, Matthew Kirilet, Gadotzi Fujimarika, and Dr. Roman join the live room. Si Kandal. Finally, the third live Q&A. This time is so boring. I can't wait. Weber, at Si Kandal, what are you bored? Didn't your Valhalla say you don't have a sense of time? For you, it's just a good night's sleep. Si Kandal, that's what you don't understand. If you work hard, you will understand when you become a heroic spirit in the future. Alexander, excuse me, where is this place? Why did it suddenly appear in my mind? Can someone explain it? Thank you very much. Si Kandal. Here comes the newcomer. Come on, let me introduce you. Wait, your name. Omega. Loli Rin. I learned it in class. Alexander. Are you the conqueror of Alexander the Great? That at Si Kandal, what are you? Si Kandar, what am I? I'm the conqueror Si Kandar. At Alexander, I'm the one who feels weird right now. Tosaka Tokiomi, it's not that strange. When a heroic spirit is summoned, it is very likely that the summoned hero is a certain class of a certain heroic spirit, or even the same person in different times, different spaces, or even parallel worlds, and even sometimes in a Holy Grail War. There will be two different classes of the same heroic spirit summoned at the same time. So, this Alexander, this should be the case. Little Aaliyah, look. This live broadcast also added the function of uploading photos and videos. At Alexander, can you take a photo for us to see? Si Kandal, is there such a function? I'll give it a try. After a minute, Si Kandal.jpg, a tall and mighty brother, stood on a chariot with boundless yellow sand under his feet, and behind him were soldiers who were waiting in battle. Alexander, wow, so big. It looks so strong. Are you the same as me when you grow up? By the way, this is my photo. Please take care. Alexander to JPG. At this moment, everyone could clearly see that on a chariot, a rather handsome little boy was standing on the chariot. Let's just say, aside from the red hair and that iconic cape, there's absolutely no way that two people standing together are the same person. It is impossible to even think that it is a father and son. Di Lamujuo Zhang, King of Conqueror. This is really the same person. What happened to make this look like that? Weber, at Alexander, seeing you, I believe that the history books are not deceitful. Lori Rin, the heroic spirit is amazing, a cute little boy, a rough brother. This is really a person. Si Kandal. Hey, are you mistaken? This king was like this when he was young. I used to be a well-known beauty boy. It's just, there is one skill that is quite different. Alexander, Is that this? God's blessing, grade, C, type, anti-human noble phantasm. As the blessing of the Son of God, Alexander will use Zeus' thunder to strengthen his body and enhance his divinity every time he uses it. Looking at this, everyone understands why two people who are obviously not alike at all become like this. Artoria, at Si Kandal. I can't believe that such a change will happen to you. Unfortunately, my physical appearance has always been fixed at 16 years old since I pulled out the sword in the stone. I don't know how I grew up. What does it look like? Lin Yi, at Artoria, I believe, must be very mature and very sexy. Ailey, at Lin Yi, how sexy? Am I sexy? Lin Yi. You should ask Tosaka Rin this question. This is her body. Loli Rin, I'm the sexiest. Elle is the prettiest. Loli Sakura. Yes, my sister is the prettiest. Lin Yi. Is this the legend of talking nonsense with eyes open? Duh. Chapter 31. Live broadcast. The Battle of Guns and Swords. Oro and Mary, this? What kind of magic is this? Whose prank? Don't make trouble. I'm busy saving people right now. I don't have the time to waste it. Dr. Roman. Director, I checked my brain just now, and there is no trace of magic, so it shouldn't be a prank. Matthew. Director, and the doctor, I'm relieved to see you here. Foo. Gudazi snoring. Lin Yi. Upstairs, haven't you woken up yet? Gudazi snoring. Well, sure enough, I'm still asleep, so there's no way out. Little Oro plus Mary, What's going on? At Oro plus Mary, could it be that the future me is here too? Oro plus Mary, what future me? At Little Oro plus Mary, who are you? Little Oro plus Mary JPG. Oro plus Mary. Looking at himself in the picture, Oro and Mary were also stunned for a moment. There is still me as a child here. Is this magic so powerful? But it is still not as strong as my Shiba. After all, our Shiba can directly time travel. Seeing Oro and Mary's proud words, Lin Yi just smiled faintly. Oro and Mary and Little Oro and Mary are not the same person in the strict sense. They are just different selves in a parallel world. One is in the event book of Monarch El Meloy 2, and the other is a character in FGO, and the two are not in the same world at all. Take a simple example, the Fourth Holy Grail War, if developed according to Fate Zero, will enter the FSN timeline. If Amiya Kiritsugu escapes with Ilya and Irisville, he will enter the magical girl Ilya timeline. If the Einsburn family of the Third Holy Grail War did not summon Angora Mainu, but summoned Shiro Amakusa, it would enter the Fate/a timeline. And if the Oil King did not participate in the Fifth Holy Grail War, but Oro and Mary's father Maris Billy Animusfia participated, and summoned the Crown Caster Solomon to end the Holy Grail War overnight, then entered the FGO timeline. The Moon worldview is just that simple and complex. As for Shabab's live broadcast system, just kidding. That's Oro and Mary haven't seen the magic of the system yet. Loli Rin Shiba? What is that? Oro Kamari Shiba. It's simply, wait, why am I telling you? Chaldea Confidential, no comment. Oro and Mary are not stupid. As the director of Chaldea, she already knows the value of this live broadcast room. Of course, she can't hand over all her cards at once. Looking at Oro and Mary, who said nothing, everyone couldn't help but sigh. As expected of little Oro and Mary growing up, the way all this information is hidden is really speechless. Finn McCool, Is it so interesting here? Dilamujuo, Lord. Lord, welcome your presence. Fin Dilmudo, is there a chance to see you again? It's funny. Durumdo, Lord. Lord, Dilumu was a little embarrassed for a while. He really didn't know what to say. At this time, the sound of the system saved him. The third live Q&A officially begins. Please enjoy the following clips. Listening to the system's voice, everyone stopped discussing. Now, they are all paying attention to the video in front of them. Fuyuki City, in a dark abandoned street. A figure holding two long guns wrapped in cloth is silently looking at a beauty in men's clothing opposite and saying, I swaggered around the city all day today, but no one was willing to show up. Only you accepted my invitation. Duramudo looked at Artoria in front of him. You. It's Saber. That's right. My king nodded. You are Lancer. Yeah. Dilamujo nodded helplessly, as if he was dissatisfied with being called Lancer by others. Can't you even share names with the opponent who is about to die? This kind of battle is really disappointing. What brush? Brush. In an instant, Durumdo entered into a fighting stance with two spears directly in his hands. Seeing Dilamujuo's actions, boom. In the next second, a strong magical light also appeared on my king. The wind blows. In an instant, the beauty in men's clothes just now disappeared. Instead, it was a heroic goddess of war wearing blue and white armor and holding an invisible blade. At this moment, the picture freezes, and then, the sound of the system rang. Multiple choice. Question. In the battle of guns and swords, what was the final result? A. Lancer wins. B. Saber wins. C. Both die together. D. There is no winner between the two. Please answer. Chapter 32. Is Lily green considered green? Kenneth, are we the first fight in this Holy Grail War? Guns and swords, interesting. Irisville Artoria is so handsome. As expected, my saber is the best. Tosaka Tokiomi. I'll talk about the compliments later. The point now is, what is the result of the battle between Saber and Lancer? Irisville, it must be Saber who won. Don't you think about it? I choose B. Amiya Karitsugu. Wait. Don't worry. How can you judge so easily? Irisville, how easy it is. I have confidence in Artoria. Don't you have confidence in Saber? Artoria. At AI Lee. Thank you for your trust. I will definitely get the Holy Grail for you. So, I also choose B. Kenneth. Humph. You are too confident. How could I lose to you? I choose A. Sora. I also choose A. Dilamujuo. Thank you for your trust. As a qualified knight, self-confidence is the most basic quality, so of course I also choose A. For the parties involved, there is no other answer to this question at all. After all, there are people who want to be embarrassed, who would be willing to admit that their skills are inferior to others. Weber, why are you all so absolute? Either he wins or she wins. Can this kind of thing have two other outcomes? Finn, impossible. I know Durumdo very well. This man is a real knight. He can be said to be perfect in other aspects except like the Green Lord. Especially when the other party is also a knight at Night King. This has already explained the problem. He will definitely not die. King of Knights Artoria, at Finn, so do I. Since I have to fight, I will never return without success. This is the glory of knights. Dilamujuo, but if you want to fight, you won't regret it. And at Finn, Lord, let's not mention that, okay? Finn, ha ha ha. At Dilamudo, don't mind. I'm not the stingy kind of person, really not. Seeing Finn say this, Lin Yi, who eats melons, always feels wrong. How can Finn be so generous? I might have believed it if I hadn't known how you behaved after Durumdo kidnapped Granny. Arturia, at Finn, it's really good for you to understand. Just like when Guinevere was taken away by Lancelot, I never blamed Lancelot, unfortunately. After listening to my king's words, Finn suddenly reacted, wait a minute, this Night King seems to have a similar experience to his own. Finn, my parents died when I was young, and my background is unknown. My king, I was fostered when I was young, and I don't know where I am. Finn, I was raised by druids, my king. I was helped by Merlin and elves since I was a child. Finn, I was greened by my chief knight. My king, I was also greened by my chief knight. Finn, my cuckold incident ended up destroying the knights, and I disappeared too. My king, my green hat incident also led to the destruction of the Knights of the Round Table, and I also died in battle. Hearing what the king said, Finn suddenly became excited. See it? See it? I'm not the only one who has experienced this. Finn suddenly felt a lot more balanced in his heart. It was like a hapless person. When he met another hapless person, he would suddenly feel relieved. If the other person was worse than himself, he would even go to comfort them. However, Lin Yi at Finn, Arturia, is a woman. Finn, Lin Yi, Lily is infinitely good, but it can't give birth. Since it can't give birth, it's naturally green. Finn F asterisk asterisk K. For a time, Finn fell into helplessness again. Is Lily green considered green? Does it count? Doesn't it count? D. Lamujuo cough. Let's choose quickly. The time is coming soon. Hurry up and hurry up. Tokiomi Tosaka cough. Yes, let's vote quickly. I choose C and both sides will suffer. I don't know any information now, except to blindly vote Tokiomi Tosaka, and Tokiomi Tosaka feels that the two are about the same strength, and Tokiomi Tosaka has a plan for a long time. Koto Mine Kirai. I choose a lowly Sakura. I choose B lowly Rin. I choose D. That's right, this is Tosaka Tokiomi's method. There are 4 people on his side. If so, why don't each of them bet 1 for options and 4 answers, and one of them is always right. Yushing Ryanosuk women? How strong can you be? I choose a Weber. Although Director Ken is not very good, I still recognize his magic skills. I choose A. Changjiang Knights ho ho ho. System. Changjiang Knights choose BM. System. Can you actually understand the words of the Yangtze River Knight? As expected of you. Duh. Chapter 33. Durumdo who sold the mole Oro plus Mary. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we're here too. At Roman, you choose A. I choose B. At Oro Marie, you choose C. At Matthew, you are the youngest, you choose D. Dr. Roman understood, Director. Matthew good Director. Little Oro and Mary. Why do you command me? I'm not your Chaldean employee. Why should I listen to you? Oro and Mary. Then do you know what to choose? Little Oro and Mary no? Don't know. Oro and Mary. Then you still don't listen to me? I have eaten more salt than you have eaten. Who do you listen to me? Little Oro and Mary. What? It's only 10 years older than me. How can I be the same as my father? Forget it. Listen to you once, system. I choose C. Uneven C is invincible. Giles, my holy virgin. You must not lose. I choose B. Si Kandal. I choose D. How could 2 such excellent servants die so easily? Alexander, I listen to you. I also choose D. Amiya Karitsugu. My position is not suitable for choosing A, but Ellie and the others have chosen B. If not, the whole army will be wiped out and both will suffer? Then I have to retire early. Forget it, I will choose D. Seeing that one person had already chosen his own answer, Lin Yi smiled slightly and said to a lay beside him, choose D. L okay. Smiley face, okay. All personnel have completed their answers, reviewing. Choose a Kenneth, Sora, Durumdo, Yu Ryanosuk, Kodo Mine Kirai, Linus. Choose King B, Irisveal, Yangtze River Knight, Tosaka Sakura. Choose C100 Majesty, Cursed Arm, Tokiomi Tosaka, Matu Korea. Choose D Lin Yi, Ereshki Caleb, Amiya Karitsugu, Lori Tosaka Rin. Matthew Kiralet. The answer is under approval. Seeing this result, everyone became nervous. The approval of the answer is over, and the answer is announced. The sound of the system finally sounded, and then, a video also appeared in the live broadcast room. The 2 figures look at each other. D. Lamujuo silently looks at Artoria in front of him. The moment the camera swept across his face, the world seemed to lose its color. Artoria charm magic. Listening to Artoria's words, Durumdo reluctantly slung the gun on his shoulder and said, there is no way out. This is my innate curse. If you want to blame it, you can only blame it for being a woman. Yourself. Sora good, so handsome. Finn at Kenneth. I advise you to take care of your wife. Otherwise I feel like we can have a good chat. Kenneth. At Sora. What are you looking at? What a handsome man. It looks ordinary. D. Lamujuo this. This can't be blamed on me. Forget it. Let's take a look. Then, Durumdo sent a photo black mole of love. See, a natural mole carries enough magic power to charm any opposite S**X. As long as you see this mole, you will have a strong love. The higher the target's magic power, the weaker the effect. When the magic power is high in C, this ability is completely useless. D. Lamujuo, so did you see it? I really can't help it. System, the live broadcast room has a recycling function. Unwanted abilities, treasures, and even pets can be recycled. The black mole of love, the recycling price is 5,000 points. Weber what? A C-level skill exchange costs 10,000 points. You only get 5,000 points for recycling. This is too dark. Who would exchange it? Isn't this a fool? Ding dong. Congratulations to Durumdo Lancer for successfully selling the black mole of love and earning 5,000 points. Weber, does anyone really exchange it? Finn, you are so decisive. With this black mole of love, you are a heartthrob. It can be said that you will never lack a female companion in your life. Even so, are you willing to exchange it? Yushing Ryanosuk, what a waste. If this kind of thing is given to me, don't I have prey hooked every day? It's a waste. It's a waste. I've decided. I must save enough 10,000 points to exchange. Kenneth at It's Just You? At Dilamujuo. Haha. Good. Good. Sure enough, you are indeed my servant. Tosaka Tokiomi. Okay, don't talk nonsense. Let's keep reading. On the screen, the battle of the two heroic spirits has officially begun. Two figures. You come and go. Every collision of weapons produces bright sparks. Every time the weapon is swung, the ground will be cut off, whether it is a street lamp, the ground, or a container on one side. As long as it is swept by the aftermath of the battle between the two, it will instantly turn into pieces. And this, it's just a warm-up for two heroic spirits. Chapter 34. I really didn't drive. Weber, is this a battle between heroic spirits? It's really handsome. Finn, as expected of my former subordinate. Durumdo, your skills are still as accurate and deadly as a falcon. D. Lamujuo this. I'm panicking. Compared with your Finn's wisdom, my strength is so insignificant. Finn, ha. Why be so humble? Your strength is like this, just like your vision. Granny is the best proof. Durumdo, can we really not talk about this? Finn, haha. Just kidding. Maybe it's a bit too much. But Durumdo, I'm very satisfied with your performance. The strength of our Fiona Knights makes you perform to the fullest. Weber, you don't go too far in business. There are so many people watching here. Kenneth, look, I'm finally out. On the screen, D. Lamujuo and my king have fought back and forth, and neither of them can do anything about the other. If you want to rely on this fighting method to decide the winner, it is estimated that it will be impossible without 3 days and 3 nights. So, Kenneth can't wait. Lancer, don't delay any longer. Get rid of her quickly. For this, I specially allow you to use the noble phantasm. As Kenneth's voice fell, Durumdo also put the short gun in his hand on the ground, and at the same time, the bandage wrapped around the long gun in his hand had also been untied, and a long gun appeared. Duramudo, who no longer hides his noble phantasm, is very strong, and under his attack, my king also feels a bit of a struggle. Fortunately, my king's overall strength is very strong, so even if the opponent uses a noble phantasm, she doesn't care. On the contrary, she also uses her own intuition. Intuition, predictive skills, you can make the most direct judgments based on the information of the user master, and even briefly predict the next battle scene. In my king's intuition, my king blocked the opponent's spear with the armor on his body, and he took the opportunity to cut the opponent directly with the long sword in his hand. My king did the same. However, in a burst of lightning and flint, my king's waist was wounded by Durumdo's spear. A bright red blood also spilled directly to the ground. Artoria, how is that possible? How could my intuition be wrong? Si Kandal, it's very simple. Obviously, the other party used a noble phantasm. Artoria, I saw that my armor did not show any signs of shattering. Could it be that the ability of this spear is to destroy demons? Finn, congratulations, you guessed it right. That is the legendary Red Rose, the legendary god of love, Angus, who gave Dulumu the equipment. Back then, I sent the 3 kings of the sea to hunt down Dulumu. When Granny was around, it was this spear that got them nothing. D. Lamujuo, your lord is right. Since you have already guessed it, I will not hide it. The Red Rose of the Demon, the B-level anti-human noble phantasm, in front of my spear. Artoria, you will it's like being naked. Lin Yi, at Dilamujuo, don't drive in the live broadcast room. Be careful to be harmonious. Durumdo, no, I mean, in front of my spear, the King of Knights is useless wearing clothes. It is better to take them off. Lin Yi, at Dilamujuo, you're a hooligan, right? At live room, the banning package is ready. Member Durumdo made inappropriate words and was punished and banned for 10 minutes. Then, D. Lamujuo was directly banned. In Valhalla, seeing that he could no longer send a message, Durumdo couldn't help but burst into tears. Listen to my explanation. I really don't have a car. Seeing that D. Lamujuo was banned, everyone continued to focus on the video. Sure enough, just like what Durumdo said just now, after my king knew that her armor was useless, she took off her armor and wore a normal uniform to fight. Without the heavy armor, my king's speed is even faster. In an instant, my king rushed over with his long sword in hand. However, seeing my king rushing over, the corners of D. Lamujuo's mouth rose slightly. Saber, you've been fooled. In the next second, a golden spear suddenly appeared, and at this moment, my king has come to Durumdo. Both of them have to send their swords on the strings. After a burst of lightning and flint, both hands were injured by each other. Durumdo couldn't hold his spear, and my king fell to the ground. When the two stood up again, Durumdo's wounds had been healed by Kenneth, but my king's wounds could not heal. Kenneth, ha. Sure enough. Did we win? You've lost your hands. How can you fight us? Sora, Durumdo is really the strongest. At Kenneth, this time we won. Finn, you really won't let me down. The spear given by Manano, the god of the sea, can never be recovered from being injured by it. Next, the outcome is decided. Is the victory determined? Everyone thinks this way, but unfortunately they don't understand that there is one person who doesn't think that way. Chapter 35. You are still young. Dad helps you save it. In the picture, at this critical moment of tension, a thunder suddenly landed in the center of the two. The thunder slowly dissipated. A mighty chariot stopped in the middle of the two, and above this chariot, a majestic and mighty man opened his arms and said, "Both sides withdraw their swords." In front of Wang Jia. Don't be unreasonable. Seeing this, Director Ken, who thought the victory was in his hands just now, was stunned. He only realized what happened now, and the sound of the system confirmed his thoughts. Because of the obstruction of the conquering king Si Kandal, the battle of guns and swords was not decided. So the correct answer is D. Congratulations to Si Kandal, Alexander, Matthew Kirilet, Amiya Karitsugu, Loli Tosaka Rin, Ali, and Lin Yi answered correctly. Each person will be rewarded with a treasure box. The reward will be sent. Please pay attention to check. At the same time, in Lin Yi's mind, the system's voice also rang out. Congratulations to the master for successfully completing the third live Q&A, and an additional treasure chest will be awarded. The live Q&A has ended. However, there are still many people who have not responded at this moment. It has been a long time. Si Kandal, haha. There was a loud bang in the sky. This king is on the stage. As expected of me. Ha ha ha. Alexander, yeah. Si Kandal is really good. I got a treasure chest in one go. It's great. Weber, what? This guy got the answer right. It's unreasonable. How is it possible? Kennethy. S. Can. Da. You're too much. Why are you interrupting their fight? If you don't interrupt, won't it be me? I'm mad at me. Artoria, that's right. At Si Kandal. It's immoral to disturb a duel between knights. Your behavior will bring shame to both of us. Weber. At Knight King Artoria. How could you do this? If it wasn't for Si Kandal, you might have lost. Artoria. Even if I lose, even if I die, I will die honorably as a knight. What's more, I just lost a thumb. Even if I can't use the noble phantasm, in Direm Duo Bow on the premise that all the tools have been exposed, I don't think I will definitely lose. My king is so persistent. For these real knights, death has never been a thing for them to fear. In their hearts, the honor of knights is above everything else. See you Chulin Caster. Yes, interrupting other people's battles or something is really incompetent. Linyi, at See You Killing-Caster, you finally stopped diving? I thought you would keep diving. French dog. I've been watching. Okay, I still have something to do, so I'll continue diving. The French dog finished, and then resumed diving. Arturia, at Delumdo. Although the live broadcast we watched may not happen in the future, but I have admitted that the battle between us, if we still come this time, the battle between us will definitely go on. Looking at Arturia's message, Durum Duo, who had just recovered from the mute state, couldn't help but say, okay, it's a deal. Endless death. Arturia, it's a word. Don't die. Arturia and Durumdo, the two finally decided to fight. Both of them swear in their hearts at this moment. They must win this battle. Finn compared to this. I'm curious what's in that treasure chest of yours? Has anyone opened it? Following Finn's speech, other people who didn't get the treasure chest also looked at the live broadcast room with bright eyes. What if someone really got something good? Tosaka family Rin Tosaka rubbed her little hands excitedly, and then opened the treasure box in front of her. She was not envious when she saw Lin Yi summoning L last time. This time, it was finally her turn to open the box. By Rin's side, Tokiomi Tosaka also looked at her expectantly. This was the first time Tokiomi Tosaka opened the treasure chest, and he also wanted to know what was inside. So, Tosaka Rin excitedly opened the box, and then, swipe. The bright light almost blinded lowly Rin's big eyes. In this treasure chest, it was filled with colorful gems. So many gems. Woohoo! Father, look, these gems are so beautiful. Lolita handed the box in her hand to Tosaka Tokiomi in front of her like a treasure, but Tosaka Tokiomi was a little disappointed in her eyes. Is it just gems? Although these gems are more than my current inventory, they can still be bought with money. It seems that my luck is not very good. Tosaka Tokiomi sighed helplessly, and then grabbed a gem. The Tosaka family's family magic is gem magic, which is to engrave the magic in the gem, so that you don't need to use your own magic power when releasing it, so causes the greatest use effect. However, this magic has one of the biggest flaws is Costly. How much is a gem? If you fight every day, you can't even sell yourself. Moreover, injecting magic power into gems is also a very labor-intensive thing. One mistake and one gem can be useless. However, the moment Tokiomi Tosaka touched the gem, his eyes suddenly lit up. This is not a gem. There is magic in it. How is it possible? At this moment, Tokiomi Tosaka also noticed the two words written on the box. Magic crystal. As the name suggests, the crystals in the body of Otherworld Warcraft. This thing naturally contains a powerful magic. Seeing this, Tosaka Tokiomi's face immediately became serious, and he said to Lori Rin in front of him, Rin, you are still too young. These magic crystal fathers will help you save them first, and give them to you when you grow up. After Tosaka Tokiomi finished speaking, she left with the box in her arms while Loli Rin looked like she was about to cry. Looking at Tosaka Tokiomi's back, Loli Rin's eyes moistened. Sister, why are you crying? Lori Sakura on the side asked inexplicably, and listening to little Sakura's words, Loli Rin turned her head to look at little Sakura and said, Sakura, has your New Year's money been saved by your parents? That's right. In this scene, do you want your parents to take away the New Year's money? At this moment, Loli Rin understood one thing. These gems, she estimated that she would never be able to get them back in her life. Chapter 36. Crazy Treasure Chest Type Moonfgo World. Chaldea, quick. Matthew, open your treasure chest and take a look. Oro and Mary were also quite excited. Not only Oro and Mary, but Dr. Roman on the side was also looking at Matthew in front of him. Even with his eyes, he couldn't see the mystery of this live broadcast room. Foo. Okay, director. Matthew looked at the expectations of everyone around her, and she nodded her head silently, and then directly opened her treasure chest. Brush. A ray of light flashed, and inside this treasure chest, a small straw man was lying quietly there, with a small note beside it. Matthew picked up the note and read it softly. A stunt man. After a drop of blood is dropped on it, when the owner is fatally injured, the man will be forced to keep his life, and then switch places. Listening to Matthew's voice, Oro and Mary's eyes lit up on one side. Doesn't this mean an extra life? Matthew, you are amazing. Oro and Mary looked at the straw man in front of her face full of envy. Looking at the expression of Oro and Mary, Matthew suddenly handed the straw man to Oro and Mary in front of him and said, Director, to you. Give to me. Oro and Mary were stunned for a moment. Is Matthew really willing to give such an important thing to himself? Although he is the director of Matthew, but he is not her, such an important thing. I am ashamed of it. However, Matthew's expression was extraordinarily critical. Director, you need this more than I do. Matthew is a test tube baby. She has no relatives, but everyone she knew from Chaldea. Dr. Roman, the director of Oro and Marie, and Da Vinci's big sister. Apart from these three people, Matthew's world has only himself, and he is just a failure and can't go to the battlefield. So this thing is natural still for those who need it. Listening to Matthew's words, Roman thought for a while, and then nodded. Indeed, director, you need it more than Matthew. Listening to Roman's words, the director nodded. Okay, but I don't like taking people's things for nothing. If you need anything in the future, I will give it to you. After Oro and Mary finished speaking, this little straw man was taken away. Studio Si Kandal, at Alexander, what did you get? Alexander, I got something called the Noble Phantasm Ben card. After using it, as long as it is successfully completed, I can raise the initial ravage and domination of my Noble Phantasm from the original B+ level to B++. Si Kandal, that's pretty good. My Via Expugnatio level is just A+. If it's B++, your explosive power has surpassed my Kimui wheel. Weber, at Si Kandal, don't expose your Noble Phantasm. It's too much. How can you do this? Si Kandal, haha, little master, don't care about this kind of thing. For us, as long as we have absolute strength, all enemies can be conquered. Alexander, that's right. Got it. Web speechless. Ailey, you two are good, but mine is not bad. Attribute upgrade card. A random attribute can be increased by 1 level. My agility has been upgraded from D to C rank. Dilamujuo, passing by with agile A+. Finn, the passing of agility A+. 100-faced Hassan, a passing by with agility. By the way, at Kodomine Kirii, when did you summon me? The Holy Grail War is about to start. Why haven't I been summoned yet? Kodomine Kirii, it's coming soon. Don't be in a hurry. 100 Majestic Hassan, okay, then I'll wait. At this moment, everyone's treasure chests have basically been opened. Only Lin Yi and Amiya Kuritsugu have not opened them. And now, At the Einsburn house, Amiya Kuritsugu was relieved to watch the chatter of the people in the group. It seems that everyone's things are good. Since that's the case, I'll also come to summon. After Amiya Kuritsugu finished speaking, he directly opened the treasure box. The next second, a golden light appeared in front of Amiya Kuritsugu. Then, this light turned into a red light and fell on Amiya Kuritsugu's body, on the back of the hand. Then it turned directly into a red command spell. Irisville on the side watched this scene, and she also looked at the treasure chest in front of her, and there was also a note in it. One chance to summon a heroic spirit, not included in the summoning mechanism of the Holy Grail. Chapter 37. Amiya summons Amiya Kuritsugu. You actually got a chance to summon a heroic spirit. Irisville looked at Kuritsugu in front of her excitedly. She didn't expect Kuritsugu to be able to summon heroic spirits. The two had already decided to let Irisville summon the king, but they thought that Amiya Kuritsugu would have no chance. But now it looks like they still have hope. And one more heroic spirit. What a great opportunity this is. Kuritsugu, wait for me. I'll go get Avalon. Even if you can't summon Artoria, summoning a Knight of the Round Table will greatly increase our chances of winning. Irisville finished speaking. To leave, however, Amiya Kuritsugu stopped her directly. Don't worry. This time, I don't want to use the Holy Relic to summon. However, if you don't use Holy Relics, what if the summoned heroic spirits are weak? Irisville was worried. It was not so easy to summon heroic spirits. Don't think that the so-called weak heroic spirits are Mata Hari, Mozart, or Charlotte Corday in FGO. Heroic spirits who can play in FGO have the worst and second-rate strength. What is the weakest? Do you know the strength of the king's army? 100,000 heroic spirits are waiting for you to choose. However, Amiya Kuritsugu is very confident. I believe in myself, and you can see that my character is not in tune with those Knights of the Round Table. If I summon a caster or an assassin, I'll definitely use it very well. Okay. Irisville nodded silently. What else could she say? Now that Amiya Kuritsugu has decided, she can only agree. Seeing that Irisville did not object, Amiya Kuritsugu walked towards the magic circle that had already been prepared, and then he directly stretched out his hand. Your body is under my command. My destiny is attached to your sword. Amiya Kuritsugu sang, and as he sang, the magic circle in front of him also emitted a bright light. On the other hand, Aliceville was even more nervous than Amiya Kuritsugu. Are you going to summon? A powerful heroic spirit must be summoned. Come out through the wheel of inhibition, guardian of the scales. Amiya Kuritsugu finally finished the last sentence, and then in front of him, a surging magic power erupted directly from the magic circle. Then, a figure appeared from inside. Black armor, red cloak. There is a despairing breath on his body, as if he is not a person, but a weapon. He was wearing a mask, but Irisville and Amiya Kuritsugu felt a familiar feeling in him. And now, this heroic spirit said, do you have to do dirty work again? Forget it, it's always been like this anyway. Assassin, Amiya Kuritsugu, follow your call, Master. What's the situation? The moment this heroic spirit raised his head, he was stunned. What the hell? Who is so bored to put a mirror in front of him? Something's wrong. This one's clothes are wrong. Could it be that? I summoned myself. What did you say? Are you Amiya Kuritsugu? Then who am I? Amiya Kuritsugu looked at the heroic spirit Kuritsugu in front of him. He never imagined how he would summon such a man. Seeing Amiya Kuritsugu's surprised appearance, heroic spirit Kuritsugu silently took off his mask, and then his face identical to Amiya Kuritsugu appeared. Although it may look younger, it is definitely Amiya Kuritsugu. How could oneself admit to being wrong? Seeing Amiya Kuritsugu's shocked expression, heroic spirit Kuritsugu sighed helplessly and said, this is fate. He is Amiya Kuritsugu, and like Red A, he has also become an agent of restraint. However, he is different from Amiya Kuritsugu in front of him. In his world, the Einsburn family did not look for Amiya Kuritsugu to marry him. Naturally, he did not meet Irisville, so he did not participate in the Holy Grail War. Did not experience all that. Did not meet Amiya Shiro, who changed his life. In the end, he became cold and ruthless, turned into a killing machine, and became Alea's agent. Originally, he should not have appeared in the Holy Grail War, but the live broadcast system is too powerful, and it is not a rule compared to all the rules in front of it. And the summon of Amiya Kuritsugu is not a regular Holy Grail summon, which makes the heroic spirit. Kuritsugu comes. Amiya Kuritsugu, I thought I would summon a heroic spirit that was similar to me, but you actually summoned me myself? For a while, Amiya Kuritsugu really didn't know whether this was lucky or unfortunate. Chapter 38. The Talisman of Breaking All Laws system. Next time add a function that can hide the answer, otherwise someone will always follow suit. Lin Yi said to the system, and listening to Lin Ye's words, the system also replied silently. Good host. After the system was confirmed, Lin Yi looked at the two treasure chests in front of him. One is obtained by answering the question yourself, and the other is rewarded by the system. Let's open this system reward first. Try your luck first. Lin Yi saw what everyone in the group got, and it was not bad to tell the truth. So Lin Yi also wanted to put his treasure chest in the back. Then, Lin Yi opened the first treasure chest in front of him and swiped. After the treasure chest was opened, there was no golden light and no special sound effects, just an ordinary card. This is a bank card. Are you playing with me in the system? That's right. This card is not a heroic spirit summoning card, skill card, item card or something. This is a bank card. Master, don't underestimate this bank card. This thing is of the highest level in the points mall. The highest level. Lin Ye's eyes lit up. Sounds good. Sure enough, I knew this thing wouldn't be that simple. So what? What is his function? It has only one function. It has money in it. Lin Yi. Sure enough. The system is just kidding me. There should be nothing in the bank card if there is no money. Isn't there a girl? Master, you may not understand what I mean. This is a universal bank card. As long as you have this card, you can spend whatever you want in any modern world, and there is no upper limit. It can be said that as long as you want, you can become the world's richest man in any world. And the most important thing is, Master, you have no money in your pocket. The system's words made Lin Yi embarrassed. He was wearing clothes, not soul clothes. If he hadn't sold the most valuable watch in this world, he might not even be able to eat. Lin Yi didn't understand why those transmigrants who read novels in the past could eat and drink without worrying about doing anything for a day, but Lin Yi really felt what it means to be a heroic man with a penny. As for stealing and robbing, Lin Yi is not that kind of person, let alone Lin Yi. A normal person who has received normal education would not rob him. So, that's how I became the richest man in the world? System, as long as the owner is not worried about being troubled by some petty people, then you are the richest man in the world. Looking at it this way, this thing seems to be really good. Lin Yi looked at the hotel where he was staying, and he couldn't help but secretly make up his mind. Cough. I will go out and buy a villa in a while. I can't keep letting it go. Is it right that Ellie and I are staying in a hotel, and maybe there will be many people coming in the future? Why should we solve the housing problem first? Lin Yi thought about it. His reward seemed pretty good. Lin Yi didn't know at all. This thing is more than good, and the effect of this thing is far from being as simple as he thought. For example, some goddesses are especially short of money. You see Tarin? Forget it. Let's take a look at the next one. Lin Yi opened another box. Brush. This time, a burst of colorful light appeared in front of Lin Yi. Seeing this light, Lin Yi smiled. That's my luck. Congratulations to the master for obtaining the noble phantasm. The 10,000 talismans must be broken. Rule breaker. Rule breaker grade. C-type. Anti-magic noble phantasm. This is not a noble phantasm for combat, but an extremely powerful, functional noble phantasm. Break the ring on all magic, even if it is a magic aggregate, magic noble phantasm, or even the command curse contract of the Holy Grail can be broken. Back then, Medea used this noble phantasm to break the contract between Hong A and my king. In the 7th chapter of Go, Gilgamesh is the one who let Gouda use the prototype of this noble phantasm to break the invincible defense of Tiamat. It is rude to say that this noble phantasm is even more important than an EX-level noble phantasm for a Type Moon Traverser. Lin Yi saw the effect of this noble phantasm at a glance, and he already understood what this noble phantasm meant. Thinking of this, Lin Yi put away the treasure with satisfaction, and then he said to Ellie, who just came out of the bath, "Let's go, Ellie. Let's go out and buy a house." Huh? Didn't you say that the house is too big to be targeted? Lin Yi. Ahem, didn't I see your strength getting stronger? With you here, what kind of enemy would dare to provoke us? Let's go. Let's go now. Then I'll bring the garden. Small idea. I'll buy you another carload of seeds. Long live Lin Yi. Chapter 39. Opening of the Holy Grail. Heroic spirits come. My name is Saber. I follow the call and ask. Ellie, why is my master you? The king who was just summoned stared blankly at Irisveal in front of her, and she clearly felt the bond between the two. But what's going on here? Isn't your own master Amiya Kiritsugu? How can I become Ellie? Saber. Ellie hugged Saber, who hadn't reacted yet, in surprise, and she was extremely happy at the moment. I really summoned you. I'm still worried about whether Kiritsugu summoned me or not. Well, don't worry about it this time. Hearing Irisveal's words, the king was also relieved. I don't know what happened, but it's better that Irisveal is the master than Amiya Kiritsugu. Then, my king also saw Amiya Kiritsugu on the side, or two, and it took a long time for her to understand what happened. Did Amiya Kiritsugu also become a heroic spirit? Two people participated in a Holy Grail War. Is this a nightmare? I feel pretty good. Amiya Kiritsugu looked at the heroic spirit Kiritsugu beside him with satisfaction. Although he was a little surprised at first, it was just a moment. Then he relaxed. Amiya Kiritsugu never believed in others, but he still believed in himself. Amiya Kiritsugu looked at the two figures in front of him, and after a long time, he said to the heroic spirit Kiritsugu beside him, "No one knows now that I summoned the heroic spirit Kiritsugu. This is our advantage. It's still you and Alice outside." Phil came forward, and Kiritsugu and I were responsible for the assassination. Amiya Kiritsugu made the future strategic policy all at once, and listening to Amiya Kiritsugu say this, my king still frowned beautifully. It's really you. As the king of knights, this kind of behavior is really disgusting, but she didn't say anything. Amiya Kiritsugu has nothing to do with herself, and she is not qualified to manage Kiritsugu. She can only use a higher ask to ask yourself. Okay, it's the first time you two officially meet. Let's have a good chat. I'm going to make preparations too. Amiya Kiritsugu left here with the heroic spirit Kiritsugu. This time, he will let all people know what a real magician killer is. Is it successful? Fortunately, the content in the live broadcast room is true. Tokiomi Tosaka looked at Gilgamesh in front of him with ease. Although he knew that he would summon Gilgamesh, he really saw it. It would still be easier for him to land on Tosaka Tokiomi. It's still you. Jean Twinkle looked at Tokiomi Tosaka in front of him. Although he had expected it, it did not mean that he accepted Tokiomi Tosaka as the master. And at this moment, Jean Twinkle also set his eyes on Kodo Minekirei. To be precise, the ordinary-looking old man behind Kodo Minekirei. The moment he saw him, Jean Shining laughed. It seems that this Holy Grail War is not necessarily as boring as I thought. Matu family. I'm finally back, Tokiomi Tosaka. This time, I will definitely take back what I lost. Matu Korea set his eyes in the direction of Tosaka's house, where his favorite people are still the most hated people are all there. It's just you? Although I don't know where you got the magic power and such an excellent magic circuit, but you want to beat Tosaka Tokiomi? What can't you do? Save your life first. Listening to the old bug, Matu Korea glanced back at the old bug, and after a long time he said, "That's why I came to you. If you don't want to die without a burial, put what you know about the Holy Grail War. Tell me everything. Otherwise, when I collect your corpse, I can only choose a good cemetery for you." My virgin, I'm here at last. Wait for me. I'll be looking for you soon. Under the moonlight, Giles, who had just arrived, was looking at the moon in the sky and muttering to himself, as if the person he was thinking of was there. Dilamujuo, it's really not an unexpected result. Your tier mole is really gone. Ha ha ha. Come, let's discuss the next battle policy. Kenneth looked at Darumdo with satisfaction. He also looked at Sora especially, and was relieved to find that Sora had no special reaction. He looked at Kenneth in front of him. Darumdo didn't say anything. He just looked out the window. What he is looking forward to is a fair and just battle of guns and swords. Ryder, what good things did you find in your treasure chest? Can't you just give me a look? Ha ha. Little master, this thing of mine is very important. Don't worry, I will take it out when I need it. I can't wait for them to show their shocked expressions when they see me. The heroic spirits have all descended. Chapter 40. The fourth live Q&A begins. The heroic spirits have already arrived, and it is estimated that the Holy Grail War will start within a day or two, but Lin Yi is very relaxed. He was sitting in his newly purchased backyard, while Ellie was watering the flowers she just sowed, while humming a tune she had learned from nowhere. Originally, Lin Yi planned to transplant some blooming flowers here. However, this proposal was rejected by Allie, because in Elle's heart, the flowers she cultivated by herself have a more sense of accomplishment. Lin Yi didn't understand this, but he wouldn't refute Allie's point of view. Compared to this, he preferred to enjoy life. At this moment, the sound of the system rang. The fourth live Q&A is about to start. Please prepare for the participants. It will officially start in 10 minutes. Hearing the system's voice, Lin Yi laughed softly. Oh, has the fourth live Q&A started? Allie, don't water the flowers. It's time to start. Coming soon. In the live room. Si Kandal. Ha ha ha. Is it finally starting again? Everyone is here too, at everyone. 100 Majestic Hassan, F******KU. At Kodo Minekirei. What do you mean? Why did I come? But I didn't come. What's the situation? Kodo Minekirei. Because of some accidents, I decided not to summon you. 100-Faced Hassan. Feeling insulted. Little Oro and Mary inexplicably feel that Baime Hassan is a bit pitiful. It seems that he is disliked by others. Oro plus Mary, at Oro plus Mary, don't say it if you know it. It will hurt people, don't you know? 100 Majestic Hassan, you don't have to remind me like that. At Kodo Mine Kyrie, since you don't want to summon me, who are you calling? Smoke drunk? Cursed wrist? Quiet? It can't be that one, right? No. Possibly. It is impossible to summon him with your qualifications. Weber, it doesn't have to be your Hassan group, right? After all, you, Hassan, are not the only ones in this world who can become assassins. But you reminded us. At least we know that Kotomine Kyrie is going to change his routine this time. Looking at Weber's news, Amiya Karitsugu, who had been staring at the live broadcast room, took out a small notebook from his arms and wrote on it, Kotomine Kyrie, 100 Faces Hassan was not summoned. The identity of the heroic spirit, unknown. Why do you care about him so much? Heroic spirit Karitsugu looked at Amiya Karitsugu curiously. Listening to the words of the heroic spirit Karitsugu, Amiya Karitsugu said indifferently, I always have a feeling that this man is unusual. Can it make you care so much? But he also summoned assassin, but it doesn't matter. No matter how powerful the assassin he summoned, he couldn't be more in tune with us. That's right. So, let's deal with him first when we have a chance. Studio, Yuxing Ryanosuk, are we going to start again? Great. This time, Master Qingsu and I must win the grand prize. Yinfeng Rijing, at Yuxing Longzasuk, you should hide well. I rushed to your place as fast as I could, but I found out that people went to the empty building. You are really smart. Yuxing Longzasuk, haha, the 3 caves of the cunning rabbit. Let you guys catch me Yuxing Longzasuk. How can you mess up? Artoria, no matter where you escape, we will never let you go. Gilesman, my virgin, have you finally appeared? Artoria, at Gillis, are you really stupid or pretending to be stupid? How many times have I said it? My name is Artoria. It's the King of Knights of Britain, not your Joan of Arc. Giles, no. No, I won't admit it. My king, who was sitting at Einsburn's house looking out the window, sighed helplessly. Why did this pervert recognize me? Looking at the appearance of the king beside her, Ellie comforted her and said, Saber, don't be angry. Can we just ignore him for this kind of pervert? Well, you're right. My king nodded silently. In the live broadcast room, seeing that the king did not answer, Giles also stopped asking questions. It was at this time that the sound of the system also rang. The 4th live Q&A begins. In a dark room, Yuxing Ryanosuk and Bluebeard are surrounded by a crystal ball. The picture inside this crystal ball is Artoria. At this moment, pointing to the crystal ball in front of him, Giles suddenly burst into tears. Look, she is the answer. That sassy heroic figure and holy face. There is no doubt that she is the girl in my destiny. Looking at Giles' excited appearance, Yuxing Ryanosuk couldn't help but walk over and asked suspiciously, Is it your acquaintance? That's right. Giles widened his already big eyes. Girl, my saint, have you finally come back? Wait for me. I'll go meet you right now. Chapter 41. How many King Arthurs are there? The live broadcast is over. Watching this scene, everyone in the live broadcast room couldn't help but complain. Weber, sure enough, is this Giles crazy? Yuxing Ryanosuk, although I admire the art of Master Kingview, but this recognition, I can only say that I am a little blind to these big watery eyes. Lin Yi. Alas, since ancient times, spearmen were lucky, and since ancient times, archers were often forced. Since ancient times, they have not played with sticks. Since ancient times, Group C has controlled saber. Oro and Mary so? Is the hole under his eyebrow out of breath? Giles, you guys, you don't understand anything at all. System, don't mock people who are blind. Maybe everyone is blind. Please find the correct King Arthur among all the heroic spirits below, and the person who finds the most correct answers will get a mysterious treasure chest. Listening to the question of the system, everyone in the live broadcast room was stunned. What is the problem? King Arthur still need to find? Isn't this obvious at a glance? How much difference can you make? Can there be a big gap between Alexander Yamato, Si, and Kandal? At this moment, everyone is very confident, especially Irisville. She proudly looked at Artoria next to her. King Arthur is by her side. Isn't this a sure win? Then, the confident Irisville began to look at it, and then, the first picture shows a figure standing with a sword in a burning ruin. The figure was dressed in modern, everyday clothes, with a scarf tied around his neck, and held a red lightsaber in his hand. And her face is exactly the same as Artoria. The only difference is that her hair color is not as bright as Artoria, but a little dim. The most prominent is the pair of glasses on the bridge of her nose, which makes her add a bit of a cutesy air. Giles, this is the Holy Virgin. That's why it's a little silly. Artoria, you are stupid. What nonsense. Weber, is it King Arthur? Although the appearance is exactly the same, Why do I feel that the difference is a bit big? Especially the lightsaber in his hand and the glasses, it feels strange. Alexander hesitating. Si Kandal, what are you struggling with? Since they look exactly the same, it must be King Arthur. I choose yes. De Lamudo, I don't think so. The King of Knights feels like a sharp blade to me, but this, I feel a bit like a girl next door no matter how I look at it. Loli Rin, I think so too. Einsburn Castle Irisveal looked at the king in front of her with anticipation. However, the king was a little uncertain at the moment. This is me? But how can I dress like this? Especially that lightsaber, but it really seems. My king thought about it. She was actually a little unsure, but she still faced Alice Faye. I choose yes. Okay. Lin Ye's house. Lin Ye, who is this? Ele looked at Lin Ye and asked. Lin Ye glanced at the picture and then said directly, the mysterious heroine Zalter. Mysterious heroine Zalter? Isn't that Artoria? No, it's Artoria from a parallel time and space, so it's King Arthur. Oh, Ellie nodded, then chose yes. Next, the second picture. A beautiful girl in blue sportswear appears in front of everyone, with a golden dull hair and the baseball cap on her head showing, and a blue lightsaber in her hand shining brightly, giving people a feeling of fullness, full of futuristic technology. Lin Yi recognized the identity of this figure at a glance. The mysterious heroine X and the mysterious heroine's altar just now belong to the existence of the parallel world servant universe, and naturally, it is also King Arthur. Weber, how do you choose this? Si Kandal, I've said it all. If you don't know and look alike, you can choose it. What's the problem? Dilamujuo, I feel a lot like the King of Knights, and I choose it too. Tosaka Tokiomi, I feel the same, I choose yes. Einsburn Castle, seeing the king nod, Irisveal also nodded silently. After clicking yes, Irisveal laughed. Sure enough, with the genuine King Arthur by his side, can he just choose whatever he wants? This feeling, how cool. The third picture, on a dimly lit street, a girl in a red coat walked silently. No matter her height, hair color, or face, the only difference was that her hair was tied up. Of course, if someone had sharp eyes, they might have found that there was a faintly cute little tiger tooth on the corner of her mouth, but it was impossible for anyone who was not very familiar to find it. Kenneth, haha, that's for sure. D. Lamujuo, I feel the breath of a strong man in her. Loli Rin, so this is also the right choice. When this picture came out, basically everyone had no opinion. However, in Einsburn Castle, Artoria looked at the picture and said word by word. Mordred. Duh. Chapter 42. Mordred? White Gun Stay. Jean? Mordred? Could it be? Irisveal immediately knew who this person was. Mordred, the legendary son of King Arthur. No wonder he looks exactly the same. That's right, it's her. Although we look exactly the same, I won't admit it wrong. My king is very sure that she may not be sure about the two just now, but she is 100% sure about this person. Seeing that the king said so, Irisveal naturally silently chose whether or not. Now the live broadcast room has added the function of anonymous voting, so don't look at everyone's fierce shouting in the live broadcast room. But who voted for who? Who is not sure? The fourth picture in a field, a tall white horse stood there, and on its back, a gallant adult woman with a knight's spear was looking into the distance. This figure gives people a feeling of sacredness and inviolability, but just from a distance, it gives people a feeling that they are not easy to get along with. The most important thing is that she has a very good figure. How good is it? Anyway, every one of these women in the group can compare. Web, who is this? How did it get in? Tosaka Tokiomi. I don't know, but although this heroic spirit looks very mature, if you look closely, you can still imagine something with the King of Knights. Kenneth, huh? Like, what are you kidding? Except for the eye color and hair color, there is nothing like it, especially the figure. Have you forgotten what the King of Knights looked like during the live broadcast? Artoria at Kenneth. What do you mean? Do you have a problem with me? Kenneth, ahem. No, I'm just being realistic. Weber. But maybe, have you forgotten about Alexander and Si Kandal? So aren't the two people who don't look the same person? Alexander. It's different. There is a reason for me to become like Si Kandar. You all know it. And the King of Knights said before that her body stopped growing after she pulled out the sword in the stone. How is that possible? Is that her? Si Kandal, that's right. And don't forget, I am what I am today because I was like this before I became a heroic spirit, but the King of Knights, she seemed to have been this little girl when she died. Looks like it. Kenneth, whatever you choose, I choose no. Giles, not my virgin. Yuxing Ryanosuk. I have the same opinion as Master Chingsu. Linya's house, ha. Isn't this White Gun Stay? It's so interesting. You don't know each other if you don't know each other. What are you doing crazy, dis my king? Don't be embarrassed to die when the answer comes out. While Lin Yi thought about it, he silently chose yes. In Einsburn Castle, Saber, this question is for nothing. I will choose no. Irisveal was about to make a decision. However, the fast-eyed king quickly held her hand. Wait a minute, don't worry. What's wrong, Saber? Irisveal looked at my king incomprehensibly, and my king said very seriously, wait a minute, I know this gun, and it's definitely Rongaminiad. And that horse, that's my love horse, Dong Stallion. So Ellie, I have a guess, it might be me. Are you willing to believe me? My king looked at Irisveal in front of him. Although she was 99% sure that this was herself, but it would still make people a little unbelievable to fall into the ears of others. However, listening to the king's words, Irisveal nodded without hesitation and said, of course I believe you. Then, I will choose yes. Hearing Irisveal's words, a smile appeared on the face of my king. As a servant, there is nothing better than meeting a master who trusts you. At this moment, the king can only smile and say, thank you for your trust, Irisveal. What is there to be grateful for? You are helping me. I have to say, Irisveal and Artoria are really good in each other. Fifth picture, a peerless girl in a battle uniform was holding a battle flag aloft. A simple-looking long sword was pinned to her waist. The golden battle flag in her hand had blooming irises, as if it were the incarnation of holiness. Gillis, Joan of Arc. My virgin. I will never admit it. This is my virgin, yes. Oro and Mary, you're endless. With this face, you think it's your holy virgin. Who knows if you've made a mistake this time? Tosaka Tokiomi. I think you should have made no mistake this time. First of all, although the King of Knights is almost 90% similar to this one, it is clear that their temperament is completely different. Especially the one in the picture, Eris. I don't remember having anything to do with King Arthur. Dilamujuo, there is also the most important point. The weapon on his body, the sword of the King of Knights, is a golden broad-blade sword, and this sword is obviously a French cross sword, which should indeed be the rumored sword of Saint Ghislaine. Exactly. The picture of Joan of Arc was instantly recognized without any comments. But when the picture of Joan of Arc was recognized, everyone suddenly understood Giles. Weber this. I have to say, these two are really a bit similar. Seeing Giles admitting his mistake like this, I can't blame him. Duh. Chapter 43. Watching my king, watching Duo Mao. Lin Yi. Although Joan of Arc and Artoria are very similar, this cannot be a reason for Giles to admit his mistake. What's more, Joan of Arc and Artoria are so different. How could they admit their mistake? Loli Rin, at Lin Yi big brother. Why do you say that the gap is big? It looks very similar. Lin Yi, of course the gap is huge. Didn't you realize that my king has dull hairs on his head? No, so you didn't notice such iconic things. What Lin Yi said was true. Who didn't know that Artoria was also known as the king of Duo Mao? Of course you have to look at Duo Mao when you recognize someone. Weber what? That's right. I didn't even notice if you didn't say anything. Wait, are there any hairs on the heads just now? I didn't even notice. Artoria, at Lin Yi, I always feel that I am offended. Lin Yi, how come? It's so cute to stay with Mao, so don't worry about these details. Sixth photo, this is a figure carved out of almost the same mold as our king. The hairstyle is basically the same, the hair color is basically the same, and there is a dull hair on the head. The only thing that stands out is that she is wearing a rather gorgeous red dress. Weber has the same face, the same head shape, the same hair color, and dull hair. As for the clothes, isn't that the one you want to change? I think so. Tosaka Tokiomi, it's very similar. Yes, but is this question so simple? The more likely things are, the less likely they are. Loli Rin. But this is clearly what it is. Loli Sakura, or sister, let's choose one of the two. Loli Rin, yeah. Einsburn's house. Irisveal looked at the king beside her. She wanted to choose yes for this question, but when she saw Tokiomi Tosaka said that, she felt something was wrong in her heart. No, she's definitely not me. Iachika shook his head. Although the two are very similar, but if you look closely, you can see the difference, such as, this one seems to be a little bigger than me. Only a little bit, but definitely not. Okay, then I'll listen to you, but it looks very similar. Irisveal said, and then pressed no. At Lin Ye's house, Lin Yi said with a smile. It's your majesty, Nero. This one is really easy to misunderstand, especially if you didn't show the original fire, but unfortunately, you can't hide it from me. Lin Yi directly chose no. At this moment, the seventh picture has arrived, but now, only the Lin Yi group and the Wuwang group are all right, and the others have more or less wrong answers. Seventh picture, this is an extremely cute girl, and her face is naturally the same. Everyone knows this. Since it is a question of recognizing people, isn't it normal for people to look the same? But the difference is that this cute girl wears a hat, so it is impossible to see if there is any dull hair. And beside her, a golden staff also showed her identity. Castor. Giles. My virgin. Weber. F*** came me upstairs for the late face blind. Don't come out and make trouble. Matu Korea, this person, is a caster, right? Kenneth, obviously yes, but King Arthur, shouldn't he be able to be a caster? Weber flipped through the book madly. According to the information I collected, in the legend of King Arthur, he should be able to serve as saber, lancer, rider. As for the stories corresponding to other classes, I have not found. King of Conqueror. Then, how do you explain this? I'm a little blind. Weber, I'll listen to you. Weber, this. Although I didn't find the legend that King Arthur could serve as a caster, I found an interesting person. Her name is Morgan. Finn Morgan? King Arthur's sister? The most evil witch in Great Britain? To tell the truth, I suddenly have a bold guess. D. Lamujuo, my lord, I understand what you mean. Since she is King Arthur's sister, then her face is normal, and she is a witch. But why does the witch look so cute? Alexander, who hasn't been a kid yet? I'm cute now too. Si Kandal, so you have to eat a little more. The king, how can he be so skinny and keep his subordinates down? Artoria, nonsense. Can you suppress your subordinates because of their charisma, not their size? Si Kandal, so you were betrayed. Artoria, Einsburn Castle Alley. Don't stop me. I'm going to cut this guy. Cursing people without exposing their shortcomings. This conqueror king is really not an ordinary anger. Even if my king has a good temper, he can't be provoked like this. Saber, don't be impulsive. They're in Fuyuki City. Tomorrow, I've already bought the ticket, and we'll go tomorrow. Just bear with me. Looking at the excited king, Irisfiel hurriedly stopped in front of her. The king. She is too afraid of the impulsive things that the king will do. By the way, we still have to answer the question, Saber. Is this question really you? Duh. Chapter 44. How could King Arthur be a man? Although Irisfiel's sentence is a bit of a diversion, it has to be said that it is very effective. Listening to Irisfiel's question, my king is also thinking this. I'm not really familiar with my sister, and I don't know what she was like when she was a child. But I have to say, that Weber is right. I really don't have the ability to become a caster. Then, do you and your sister look alike? Irisfiel found the key point. Listening to Irisfiel's words, the king nodded. It's very similar, very similar. Morgan and my king are of course very similar. Otherwise, why would the two Mordred students born out of them be exactly the same as my king? Curious students can search for pictures of Fate Morgan. Although Morgan is a royal sister, her face is really exactly the same. Then do we choose or not? My king, but I still have an intuition. I feel that she is very similar to me. So let's be safe. I will choose whether you choose or not. Yeah. Irisfiel nodded. I'll listen to you. So, the two wrote their own answers separately. And at Lin Ye's house, this is Siste. Lin Ye immediately recognized the identity of the figure in the picture. The fox concubine is Mei Tianli. Ska Siste alive every day? This is the most famous six crooks in the whole Go. What? You said punishment G? Is there anyone who doesn't know that G of the Ministry of Punishment can't do it? Stupid? What is that? Ali asked curiously. See dumb. Artoria caster class. She is not a certain side of Artoria in this world, such as Artoria Lily. Well, I will talk about this later, but just like the white gun dumb just now. Another world line. In that timeline, she's an excellent magician. Outstanding? It's more than outstanding. The power of one person has brought the existence of the entire blue card team. Oh, then I see. Ale believed Lin Yu 100%, so she immediately chose yes. At this time, the voice of the live broadcast system rang again. The last picture. This is an incomparably handsome man with long golden hair and a handsome face. He is wearing a clean and tidy white dress. Standing there, he gives people a sense of nobility and elegance. He also has a big golden sword in his hand, which makes people feel that his strength is not ordinary. Sora is so handsome. Omega? Kenneth, what a handsome. Am I handsome? D. Lamujuo, this question shouldn't it be a joke? King Arthur is actually a man? Ha ha, interesting. Weber. Oh, this Holy Grail War is really ruining the three views. Everyone else's family is King Arthur, but it's a woman? How could King Arthur be a man when he came to us? Jean Ling, at night King Arturia. Ha, I'm curious about your expression now. It should be very interesting. Arturia, you. Don't be too happy too soon. Tosaka Tokiomi. So, this question should not be considered. Amiya Karitsugu, to tell the truth, I originally thought that King Arthur's image should be like this, but I can only say that there is still a gap between ideals and reality. Kotomine Kirai. So, this might be a spoof in the live broadcast room. Weber goes through the book. I searched for all the stories about King Arthur, and I found a man, Richard I, who claimed to be a descendant of the great King Arthur, and who was also described as a living King Arthur, and some according to legends. He even has the sword of the Oath of Victory. Irisfield, descendants of King Arthur? Saber? Do you have any other children besides Mordred? In the Einsburn castle, Irisfield looked at the king in front of him with a face of 8 trigrams. Listening to Irisfield's words, the king was particularly helpless. Don't think about it. I only have a son, Mordred, a daughter, and Mordred has no children, but my descendants do not mean my descendants. My sister Morgan has 2 sons and 2 daughters. In addition to Xiao Mo, Age Gawain and Gao Wen's children can also be regarded as my descendants. Is that so? Irisfield nodded silently, with a little disappointment on her face. It's as if the people who eat melons suddenly find out that the melons are fake melons. Cough, good Irisfield. Choose or not, no matter what happens, it is absolutely impossible for me to become a man. Although I really hope I am a man, it is the truth. The king shook his head. Because she is the king, she can only show people in men's clothes all the time, and sometimes, she even forgets that she is a woman. But even if you forget, a woman is a woman. This is a fact that can never be changed. As for the man in this picture, there is nothing similar, and even the great sword in his hand is exactly the same as his own sword in stone and the sword of Oath of Victory. So, the king and Irisfield chose no. However, at Linya's house, Old Sword, the system is bullying people by asking this question. However, your question is who is King Arthur? Although the Old Sword is not Artoria, the identity of King Arthur is beyond doubt. Chapter 45. King Arthur doesn't know King Arthur? The old swords are different from the white guns that appeared before. The relationship between the white guns and the king is their own between different world lines, while the old swords are existences in parallel worlds or parallel universes. And here, all the pictures have been played. 8 pictures. If you want to be all right, it is too difficult for these people. All answers have been collected, and the answers are being reviewed. The answer has been reviewed, and the results are now announced. The following is a list of members who answered only one question correctly. Giles, why? Why did I get only one right answer? Impossible. It's impossible. Linyi, I want to know, how did you answer it? Even if you're fooled, you won't be right. You, Timo, are really talented. Wait, how did you answer? Giles, how can I fight? It asked me if I was King Arthur. How could it be that Arthur is there? That's obviously my holy maiden. So I just don't feel like that one. So I choose all the others. Linyi, you are really persistent. He could understand why Giles only got one answer right. It turned out that this guy was fundamentally wrong. It's like doing a math problem. If you memorize the formula wrong, then it's no wonder that you can figure out the correct answer. No, it should be said that you can answer one of them correctly. How lucky are you? Certainly naughty. Member Giles has the least correct answer, and punishment will take place after all answers are published. Giles, no. No, I can't be wrong. It's you. That's her. That's my belief. How could he be wrong? What Giles is afraid of is not punishment. What he is afraid of is the denial of him by the system. If that wasn't Joan of Arc, wasn't his heart for Joan of Arc stained? However, no one cares about his words, and the mistakes he made should be borne by himself. The following is the list of members who answered 2 questions correctly. Yushing Ryanosuk. Rewards 200 points. The following is the list of members who answered the 3 questions correctly. Little Oro and Mary, Tosaka Sakura. 300 points awarded. The following is the list of members who answered the 6 paths question correctly. Amiya Kiritsugu, Irisfield. 600 points awarded. As the results were announced little by little, everyone started to get nervous. There were 8 questions in total, and now the 6th paths question has been announced, and now only Lin Yi and Arturia are left on the field. It seems that the victory or defeat is in the next announcement. The following is the list of members who answered 7 questions correctly. Artoria Pandela Tribute. Rewards 700 points. Arturia Impossible. How could I be wrong? I think I could be wrong. My king doesn't believe it, and I admit that I have made mistakes, so who can be right? And many more. Lin Yi. My king then set his sights on Lin Ye's avatar in the live broadcast room. At this time, the system also announced the final result. The following is the list of members who answered all the 8 questions correctly. Lin Yi, Ereshkigal. 1,000 points will be awarded, because Lin Yi and Ereshkigal have the most correct answers, and each will receive an additional reward, a treasure box. Irisfield at Lin Yi. Why? Why are you all right? Even if Saber has his own mistakes, can you know yourself better than Saber? Weber. That's right. I thought Arturia was stable this time, but it turns out, it's still Lin Yi who is amazing. Kenneth. No. Even if he has the ability to predict the future, This Lin, you can't be completely right. After all, what predicts the future is also the future of the world to which you belong. Can you do it? Jean Twinkle, huh? You asked me such a question? Let's put it this way. As long as my omniscient star is turned on, no matter who it is, as long as I stand in front of me, I can recognize his real name. Si Kandal, then how did you get 6 right? Jean Shun, huh? Miscellaneous. Didn't you understand what I said? You have to stand in front of me. Just throw 2 pictures. Where can I meet you? Besides, my arrival this time has closed the omniscient and almighty star. What? Tokiomi Tosaka. This in addition to predicting the future, has Mr. Lin Yi mastered the second method? If so, I can understand. The second time, the interference of parallel worlds can roam freely in each parallel world. Lin Yi, don't guess, you can guess wrong. When Lin Ye's words came out, not only did they not make these people feel at ease, but they also affirmed their thoughts. He denied it. This is obviously hidden. This is how people are. When he has an idea in his heart, the more you deny it, the more they think it is. On the contrary, if you admit it generously, they may still be suspicious. It's a pity that Lin Yi didn't know what they were thinking about. If he knew, Lin Yi might sigh. You guys, what's wrong with making up your mind? I'm just an ordinary traverser. Duh. Chapter 46. My king, you have great potential. The correct answer is now announced. The first picture, the characters, the mysterious heroine Zalter, the parallel universe Artoria Pandela tribute, the class, the Berserker. Weber, that is indeed King Arthur. But the servant universe? What is that? Kenneth, at Weber, I want you to listen to the class well, although I didn't talk about it, but you have to know it. There are parallel worlds in our world, and the servant universe is obviously a parallel world, and this mysterious heroine, Zalter, it's obviously King Arthur of the parallel world. Weber, so that's what it is. Wait, you didn't tell me what I was listening to. Artoria, I guessed that too, and she's an altar, so it should be my reversal state. Lin Yi, that's right, obviously so, and the heroine X in the second picture is the normal Artoria. Don't you think their styles match well? The second picture, the heroine X of the character fan, Artoria of the parallel world servant universe, class assassin. Sure enough, the system also directly announced the answer. By me on look. Look, King Arthur is also an assassin. Why do you look down on our assassin? Si Kandal. Well, you may have misunderstood. We never look down on assassin, we just look down on you Hassan. D. Lamudo, Artoria is an assassin because she can be an assassin, and you become an assassin because you can only be an assassin. It's obviously different. Gilgamesh, that's right, keep your mouth shut. This king can be in all classes except the Berserker class, but do you see how proud I am? Lin Yi. At Golden Twinkle, you really have nothing to be proud of, Artoria. One person can fight a Holy Grail War. Lin Yi is telling the truth. Anyone who has played FGO knows that. Artoria, that is the daughter of the moon. The third picture, character Mordred, daughter of King Arthur Artoria, class Saber. The system also posted a third answer at this time. When they heard the system's answer, everyone was stunned. Weber Mordred. She is Mordred. At Artoria, it's your daughter. No wonder she looks so similar to you. No wonder I guessed wrong. Irisfeel. Even if it's a daughter, isn't it too similar? It's just carved out of a mold. Little Ilya. Mom, we are also very similar. In the future, I will definitely be as beautiful as you. Matu Korea. You are different. You are androids, let alone Irisfeel. Everyone has been the same since Justiça. Little Ilya Humph. Nasty guy. Tomasaka Tokiomi, huh? At Mato Korea, you still know this? It seems that there is a supplementary class recently, and yes, with such a good magic circuit, it would be a pity not to become a magician. Matu Korea. At Tadosaka Tokiomi. Don't look like a senior. I got a lot of points this time, and I will become stronger soon. Tosaka Tokiomi who? Then I'll wait for you here, by the way, let you see what the strength of the Tosaka family is. Sitting on the sofa of his own house, Tosaka Tokiomi was proudly playing with a sword made of gems. The gem sword Zelrich, the biggest trump card of the Tosaka family, but has never had the chance to create it. After Tosaka Tokiomi obtained the box of magic crystals from Tosaka Rin a few days ago, Tosaka Tokiomi finally, it worked. The jeweled sword Zelrich is a weapon that can make people fight against heroic spirits with human power. With it here this time, Tokiomi Tosaka can be said to be very confident. Chapter 4 Pictures, Character Arturia Pandela Gong, Fate/Grand Order World, Class Lancer. Weber, this is King Arthur. This is really King Arthur. Why? Irisfeel, I was surprised when I found out, but I have to say, at Artoria, sure enough, Saber, you have great potential too. Si Kandal. Is there any potential for another, at Artoria? Why is all this? How did you become like this? What a difference. Bigger than me and little Alexander. Linyi, at Si Kandal, you're welcome. At most, Artoria is a little taller, her legs are a little longer, and her figure is a little lower. You and Alexander are taking too much hormones. Looking at Linya's news, Si Kandal was stunned for a moment. It seems, what Linyi said makes sense. P.S. Pit, Go's lucky bag wants the Earl, but Haitian came. I'm going to be full of treasures in Haitian. Fortunately, C stayed here, and it was a double-yolked egg. Although it cost more than 300 stone, it was not a loss. I decided, in order to celebrate the two of my Calais, I decided to arrange their roles in a while. Chapter 47. Rulers are upright and selfless. The fifth picture, characters, Joan of Arc, class ruler. Matu Korea ruler? What class is this? Tomasaka Tokiomi, at Mato Korea. Sure enough, is it a halfway monk or a halfway monk? The so-called ruler is naturally a heroic spirit class, but it doesn't belong to the 7 regular classes. Matu Korea, at Tokiomi, I don't need you to teach me. You're not the only one in this group who understands the Holy Grail War. Kenneth, yes, for me, ruler is the arbiter. They are usually not called. Only this Holy Grail War is special. That is, the Holy Grail thinks ruler is needed. When the line is distorted, Valhalla will automatically send a ruler to correct the world line to its original state. Weber, the world line is distorted? Then can I ask, our current Holy Grail War, has it been distorted to the point of irreversibility? Kenneth, I'm going. At Weber, you found a blind spot. That's right, those videos we watch are the normal world line. Then our current behavior is definitely distorting the timeline. Linyi, at Kenneth, it's not irreparable. Or, you made Sora fall in love with Darumdo? Let Tokiomi Tosaka send little Sakura to Matu's house again? Maybe this can be remedied. Kenneth, absolutely impossible. Distortion is distortion. Even death. I don't want a green hat. Lori Rin, that's right. Little Sakura is also a younger sister. She is Tosaka Sakura. It's not Matu Sakura. Seeing these people's answers, Linyi nodded in satisfaction. It's not even hopeless. However, someone suddenly got excited. Giles, wait. The ruler may come. So, my Joan, is she coming? Ha ha. Weber, at Gillis, you think too much. Heroes who have no wishes before death and saints who are upright, selfless, brave, and kind may become ruler, and not only Joan of Arc can be the ruler. How do you know it must be her? Come, integrity and selflessness, brave and kind. Looking at Weber's news, Linyi began to recall Shiro Tokusada Amakusa, who wants to save the world, F.A. famous Black Whistle Joan of Arc Dauk, Marta of Iron Fist Judgment, Karl the Great, who wants to conquer the world in Fae, sexy swimsuit bunny girl dealer Lion King Artoria, relying on Amor, who rested on Meipo's daughter Karen, and our political big brother who united the Millennium Empire. None of these rulers feel righteous, selfless, brave, and kind. At most 3 of the 4 conditions are met, but then again, Alea will not really send the ruler down to deal with this Holy Grail War. Linyi couldn't help but start to think. Among the 8 groups in Fuyuki City, he was the only one who didn't appear in this Holy Grail War. If he had to deal with it, he would definitely deal with himself. I just don't know who the Holy Grail will send. No, the job of the rulers is not to clean up. Their job is to ensure the smooth progress of the Holy Grail War. And those who are responsible for cleaning up are those who have signed a contract with the restraining force. Hong A and the heroic spirit Kiritsugu. I just don't know who of you is coming to trouble me this time. Meanwhile, in the Einsburn Castle on the balcony of the old castle, the heroic spirit Kiritsugu is looking up at the night sky. No one knows what he is thinking. Do you like the sky very much? Irisveal walked over from behind him. Listening to Irisveal's words, the heroic spirit Kiritsugu silently shook his head. No, on the contrary, I hate the sky because it always brings back some bad memories. That time, Natalia got on a plane and never came back. By the way, you and Kiritsugu will go to Fuyuki City in a while. I've already prepared a change of clothes for you, as well as your wallet and mobile phone communicator. Don't forget to bring them. Heroic spirit Kiritsugu looked at Irisveal in front of him, and after a long while, he nodded silently. And Irisveal said quite seriously, Kiritsugu has many enemies in Fuyuki City. I hope you can protect him. Trouble. Hearing Irisveal's words, heroic spirit Kiritsugu nodded silently. Understood, don't worry. He is my master. After the heroic spirit Kiritsugu finished speaking, he continued to raise his head to look up at the starry sky. Seeing that the heroic spirit Kiritsugu seemed unwilling to pay attention to him, Irisveal nodded slightly to his back before leaving here. And after Irisveal left, Amiya Kiritsugu came over. Does he hate her? No. Heroic Kiritsugu shook his head. It's just that I'm not suitable for communicating with her. Duh. Chapter 48. Noble Phantasm, King's Treasure. Seeing Yingling Kiritsugu say this, Amiya Kiritsugu took out a cigarette from his arms, put it lightly on his mouth, and took a puff. He slowly spit the cigarette out of his nose. And then Kiritsugu, the heroic spirit who handed the cigarette case aside, said, "Want one?" "I don't like smoking." Heroic Kiritsugu shook his head. "Let's take one. Maybe it will be better." Amiya Kiritsugu said so, and the heroic spirit Kiritsugu watched Amiya Kiritsugu say so, and he silently took out one, and then put it on tentatively. Mouth. After lighting it, I took a sip. Cough, cough. Aren't you used to it? Just get used to it. Amiya Kiritsugu chuckled. He only relaxed in front of heroic spirit Kiritsugu. Smoking is still good, at least better than drinking. If you drink too much alcohol, your hands will tremble. After listening to Amiya Kiritsugu's words, heroic spirit Kiritsugu put the cigarette to his mouth again, and then said, "You're lucky." Lucky? I never thought this word had anything to do with me. Amiya Kiritsugu shook his head. That's why you haven't found it. Heroic Kiritsugu turned his attention to Irisveal, who was packing Amiya Kiritsugu's luggage, and Ilya, who was sitting on the sofa with a doll. A glint of envy flashed in his eyes. Your life now is something I can't even imagine. Indeed, before you came, I never knew that I also had happiness. Amiya Kiritsugu nodded. Everyone needs to be compared. The difference between him and heroic spirit Kiritsugu is, they both turned into emotionless weapons after killing Natalia. But he was lucky enough to meet Irisveal. But the heroic spirit Kiritsugu didn't. By the way, let me tell you something. Heroic spirit Kiritsugu suddenly said. Just now, the restraint force gave me a task. What mission? Kill Linyi. Heroic spirit Kiritsugu said lightly. Hearing what Kiritsugu said, Amiya Kiritsugu frowned. He didn't know how strong Linyi was, but it was definitely not that simple. Not to mention, that L is a god-level heroic spirit, and it is very difficult for him to win by relying on this one. Seeing Amiya Kiritsugu thinking, heroic spirit Kiritsugu said again, but I said, I'm on a business trip now and I don't agree to work overtime, so I refused. Amiya Kiritsugu, can this be rejected too? Wait, then you refuse. What will the inhibition do? I don't know, but based on what I know about her, I should send other agents to act. Agent, is it your existence? Is it strong? How strong? The intensity is average, but when it comes to killing people, I'm afraid only those Hassans can compare with us. Is that so? Then, let's hurry up and set off. Maybe in time, we can watch the live broadcast. I'm also very curious about Linya's strength. After Amiya Kiritsugu finished speaking, he left here directly with the heroic spirit Kiritsugu. At Linya's house, Linya didn't take the agent's affairs to heart at this moment. His current mood was on the two treasure chests in front of him. Let me see what's in there. Linyi directly opened the first treasure chest in front of him, and then a burst of light appeared. Congratulations to the master for getting the reward, the noble phantasm, the treasure of the king. King's treasure grade, EA++ category, anti-human noble phantasm effect. The user has an independent space, and the weapons in the treasure of the queen can be shot out like bullets. The more treasures in the space, the higher the power. Linya's eyes lit up when he saw Wang Zhibao in front of him. King's treasure, I don't need to say more about how useful this thing is. Not to mention its attack power, it can be said that its storage ability is the strongest in Xingyue. After all, the space inside the treasure of the king. It is infinite. Linyi took out a dagger like a key from the treasure chest. As soon as he injected magic power, the key suddenly began to change continuously. Immediately afterwards, the key disappeared directly in front of Linyi, but Linyi could feel that it did not disappear, but was always around him. Linya's mind moved, and behind him, ripples appeared in the space. Success. Seeing this scene, Linyi immediately took out his end sword and placed it directly in the ripples. Brush. The ripples gradually disappeared, and the end sword also disappeared directly in front of Linyi. Then Linya's thoughts moved again. The ripples appeared again, and the ending sword appeared again, disappeared. Appeared, disappeared, appeared. Soon Linyi was familiar with the use of this noble phantasm. It's really convenient. It's just that there are too few noble phantasms in it, but that's okay. It's a lot. Let's take a look at the next one. The first one is such a good thing as King's treasure. So what will be in the second treasure chest? Chapter 49. The Shocked King. Congratulations, Master, for obtaining the noble phantasm. The knight will not die with his bare hands. Knights don't die with their bare hands category. Anti-human noble phantasm grade. A++ effect. Gives the attributes of the noble phantasm to the items in hand. All items that fall into Lancelot's hands are equivalent to D-level noble phantasms. If their own level is higher than D-level, the original level will be retained. Looking at the skills he had acquired, Lin Yi looked at the treasure of the king he had just acquired. He suddenly had a bold idea. In the live broadcast room, the announcement of the answer was still going on, and everyone didn't know that Lin Yi had become stronger again. Sixth picture, character identity, Nero Claudius Gaisa Augustus Germanicus. Yuxing Ryanosuk. What? How can this person's name be so long? I can't remember the name. Weber. I don't mind whether the name is long or not. The problem is, who can explain to me why a Roman emperor is exactly the same as King Arthur of Great Britain? Artoria, don't ask me. I don't know the reason myself. Artoria expressed that she did not understand, and she also wanted to know why this happened. How could she know why she looked exactly the same? Lin Yi, this may be a coincidence. The seventh picture, the character, Artoria Pandella Tribute, Castor, the son of prophecy who was chosen jointly with the stand of choice. Web, it's not Morgan. Ah! Angrily threw the book on the ground. JPG Kenneth, at Weber. What book are you flipping? And Morgan? What kind of Morgan is this? Arturia. Sure enough, I'll say it. Sister, she will never have such a temperament. But the rod of choice? It sounds like my sword of choice. Tosaka Tokiomi. Obviously, this should also be Arturia from a parallel world. It's really surprising. King Arthur with a wand. Jean shining a parallel world? It's interesting. I don't know what I look like in a parallel world. I should be as powerful and extraordinary as this king, unparalleled in the world. The parallel world is glittering? Old glitter? The one slashed by the old sword? Lin Yi couldn't help laughing when he thought of this. I really want to see what Jean Shining will look like when he sees old Shining being cut down. In the future, there should be a chance. The eighth picture, figure, Arthur Pandella Tribute, King Arthur of the Fate/Prototype World. Everyone. Weber, King Arthur. This turned out to be King Arthur. God, why is King Arthur a man? Arturia, why is this happening? At Live Room System, are you sure? Arturia was really stunned. No matter how outrageous the previous ones were, at least they were exactly the same as their own, and they were all women. This can be accepted by herself, but now, she has even changed her gender, okay? How could she not be shocked? Please do not question the correctness of the live broadcast room. In the Einsburn family, now Artoria finally knows why she was wrong. She could never have imagined that there was a male version of herself in a certain parallel world. Finn, I suddenly had a bold idea. Since King Arthur is a man in that world, then, will we be women? Dilamujuo, this, it won't work. Lord, please don't say such a terrifying thing. Finn, is it scary? I find it interesting. By the way, count the time. Your Holy Grail War should start now. At Dilamudo, are you ready? You can't lose tomorrow. Dilamudo, of course, I can't wait. This time, I must win for my new lord, and offer the Holy Grail. Standing on the balcony of the Kenneth Magic Workshop, Durumdo silently looked out the window. The Holy Grail War he had been waiting for was finally about to begin. This time, he must prove himself. Durumdo is a heroic spirit with the glory of a knight, but unfortunately, not every heroic spirit is like this. For example, at this moment, a figure has just descended here. This figure is wearing a red knight's uniform, and his white hair is constantly swaying in the wind. At this moment, he is standing on a tall building overlooking the scenery below. Familiar place. Unexpectedly, do I still have a chance to come back here? This figure looked at Fuyuki City in front of him and couldn't help but sigh. That is, Lin Yi was not here. If he was here, he would have quickly recognized the identity of the man in front of him. Rede, or call him by his full name. Ami Ishiro. At this moment, the agent of inhibition is putting his eyes on an ordinary-looking room. As an archer, in his clairvoyant eyes, Honga clearly saw that in that room, a boy with red hair who looked no more than 10 years old was doing his homework diligently. And seeing this figure, a black bow appeared in Hong A's hand. In an instant, Hong A completed the action of pulling the bow and raising the arrow. As long as his hand was loosened, the boy would be killed directly by the arrow. However, he still did not let go of his hand holding the bowstring. Forget it, I can't move yet. That Lin Yi seems to have the ability to predict the future. At this time, it's easy to start a panic. Let's wait until I have solved the target. After Hong A finished speaking, he turned around and disappeared into the darkness. As for the reason he had just now, whether he really had scruples or not, I am afraid that only he himself knew. Chapter 50. Newcomers join the live broadcast room in the live room. Invite new people to join the live room. Heroic spirits. Mordred, Saber. Amiya Karitsugu, Assassin. Amiya Shiro, Archer. Artoria, Caster. Human. Tosaka Rin. Si Kandal, huh? Another new person joined the group chat. Wait, am I dazzled? Weber, maybe it's me who's dazzled. What's wrong with Amiya Kiritsugu, assassin? Isn't a heroic spirit only a dead person can do? Jin Xiao Che, ignorant miscellaneous practitioners, who said that only dead can become a heroic spirit, and there is no concept of time in the Hall of Valor. The past, the present, and the future can all be. Weber, wait. In other words, the future Amiya Kiritsugu has become a heroic spirit. Tosaka Tokiomi, I don't rule out this possibility, but there may be other timelines, just like that bunch of King Arthur. Tokiomi Tosaka is worthy of being the orthodox of the three families, and he really knows the heroic spirits very well. At the airport, the heroic spirit Kiritsugu who had just landed looked at Amiya Kiritsugu next to him and said, I was also invited to the live broadcast room. Amiya Kiritsugu, don't speak, no matter what others ask you. Don't say anything, don't expose it. Heroic spirit Kiritsugu, understood. Sure enough, heroic spirit Kiritsugu dived without saying a word. And seeing the heroic spirit Kiritsugu not speaking, a group of people turned their attention to other people. Tosaka Rin, FSN, where's this place? Who will use magic to make trouble again? The Holy Grail War has not yet begun. Can you all be impatient? Loli Rin, Tosaka Rin. Loli Rin immediately thought of the live broadcast she saw for the first time before. This Tosaka Rin, shouldn't she be herself in that world? Obviously, she wasn't the only one who reacted, and so did the others. Tosaka Tokiomi, who are you? Rin. Tosaka Rin, who are you? You actually were the head of my late father. Tokiomi Tosaka, deceased? Matsu Korea. Ha, what a deceased one. Sounds really comfortable. Tosaka Rin, Korea uncle? It's too much. Whose prank is this? Can you not consume dead people? Matsu Korea, consumption dead? What do you mean? Tomasaka Tokiomi, I will translate it for you. That is, you died, and went to the underworld. Matsu Korea, go away. Kenneth, at this time, you should at the live broadcast system and let people explain themselves. Kenneth is still very smart, and at this moment, in Tosaka's house in the FSN world, Tosaka Rin felt the live broadcast room in her mind, and she couldn't help saying angrily, what kind of people are these people? It's too much, and pretending to be my father. At this moment, a large amount of information suddenly appeared in Tosaka Rin's mind, which was obviously instilling information into her in the live broadcast room. Soon, she also understood all the causes and consequences, and at this moment, she also understood. Tosaka Rin, this is all true. You are really fathers. Korea uncle, and myself as a child. Si Kandal, looks like I understand. Tokiomi Tosaka, at Toto Sakarin, it's good to understand. Let's ignore this for now, and tell me how I died. Matsu Korea, and me. How did I die? Tosaka Rin, this, I don't know. Tosaka Rin really didn't know that during the Fourth Holy Grail War, she was sent to her grandmother's house. When the Holy Grail War ended, she received the news that her mother died of illness after going crazy, and her father also died. Dead, but her sister was sent back by a mysterious man, and she didn't know anything. Tosaka Rin didn't explain it, but after explaining it, several people present went crazy. Matsu Korea, what? Always crazy. Who did it? Who did it? I must kill him. Kill him. Tokiomi Tosaka, at Mato Korea. What are you shouting here? Does it have anything to do with you? Tokiomi Tosaka was relatively calm. After all, he had already guessed his ending based on some of the live broadcasts he had watched before. Now, what he cares more about is how the two children are Tomasaka Tokiomi. That is to say, are you two sisters and two children so big together? Poor me, I'm an incompetent father. Tosaka Rin. Actually, it's okay. I'm relatively precocious, so I don't have any problem taking care of myself. As for magic, my senior brother often teaches me. Although his level is average, it's better for me to learn by myself. Tokiomi Tosaka, senior brother? Tosaka Rin. Well, it's that guy Kodo Kirai, who handles your funeral affairs, and has helped me a lot over the past 10 years. Tosaka Tokiomi, is that so? Great. At Kodo Kirai, thank you so much. The most correct decision in my life is to accept you as my disciple. Koto Kirai, this, don't worry about it. Teacher, this is what I should do. The most correct decision? Tosaka Tokiomi, looks like you are really blind. Duh.
If you're enjoying the story so far and want to hear the next parts, don't forget to like the video. It really helps the channel grow. And if you'd like me to continue the series, drop a comment below letting me know. Your feedback and support keep these audiobooks going strong. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.